Man got the waves. I see them waves. Things over there surfing.
They better go back to Jamaica.
The man has the do-rag ritual. Like,
Hey man, I used to be a fucking do-rag. Man, that line in my head, man.
Around
You
that.
gotta wrap it a certain way to get rid of that.
I know.
I never got that technique
If,
down.
if I didn't wear my do-rag that night, it's the next day I'm starting off bad. Already starting off bad. Like it was like an emergency type shit. It was. I used to be straight up pretty boy, dog.
When did I start waving? It's last year sometime, right? AJ, you remember?
it's like I thought it was 2 years ago. Like, I think it was pre-pandemic. You decided to go down this journey.
On this journey.
Yeah, it was pre-pandemic.
I haven't missed a night yet, man. Since I started, I haven't missed a do-rag night.
That's awesome. My camera is just.
We saw one night. You know.
What's that?
We saw one night.
Like you see it, but I mean, head doesn't hit the pillow without it.
Without it on.
Problem is, why had
You gotta you let it out the house sometime. But you know.
My do-rag almost came off at night. Like
that's the entire right, man.
Yeah, that's exactly what that is.
Mine never came off, but I felt like my head was being sawed in half. So I was like, you know what, waves ain't for me. Ain't for me. I get like a migraine with things on my head.
That's you probably pulled it too tight.
It doesn't matter. Just things touching my head. Like I'm surprised I can wear hats these days. Like I used to not even wear a hat because like something on my head, I was just like, I could feel it trying to. I don't know.
See, you probably people don't want to put in the lay down work, and then they're like, if I just tie this tight, it'll just take care of it.
Yeah, that's absolutely what it was. You're like, just hopefully you suffocate the hair and it just curls up into a ball in a wave formation.
You gotta brush.
You gotta brush your life away.
Yep.
Put that grease in it, you know.
That Murray's.
It's about moisture, guys, not just grease.
Murray's.
Jack up your scalp.
I mean, like,
you go. I would go hot towel for a long time. You hot towel, and then Murray's. But the good thing about Murray's is the lifetime supply is one can. So
absolutely.
I ain't never seen the bottle of it.
No, I have, but it was because everybody in my family used the same can of Murray's. Yep. So
that was a generation's worth of Murray's.
Yes. This is your grandfather's Murray's and your grandfather's Murray's, and now it's your Murray's, son.
We inherited this.
This is a very proud day for me, son.
Yeah.
May the waves continue.
Absolutely.
It started changing color as it went down the generation.
Damn.
Hey man, Murray's persist, man. It don't change. The can changes colors. The Murray's inside, same color. Amber colored Murray's, same color. The can now is straight. It starts to straight.
I'm positive.
You start to see the silver behind the paint on the can. Same color.
That's the amber skull from Jurassic Park.
Oh yeah, same color. It's the same stuff.
Why are webcams so expensive?
Of course.
Isn't it like cheap hardware?
Nah, that's currency during the pandemic.
It was like so expensive, like webcam. I was like, yeah, let me get I'm gonna get a 4K webcam. That should be like $50.
That was like 200.
That was the old price.
Exactly. That was pre-pandemic.
I think you might be able to get a few of them for $150. I think the Logitech that I was eyeballing, I think that's 200.
There was one for 97.
Is it gonna break in 2 days?
No, it's just gonna beam all your information back to whatever nation.
All right.
Whatever nation produces it and
you know what?
It was the 97.
Yeah, I'm not trying to get hacked today though. That's why I'm gonna just generic nation inserted here.
That's what I hate, because I feel like
fuck you, Russia.
backs up against you. You spend a bunch of money.
Hey, the rest of us are very scared, Russia. Please.
The rest of us.
Blerdimension crew wants to make a statement right here and right
No,
now.
we
Nah,
don't.
nah, nah, nah.
Russia,
Tech wanna make
Russia,
a
we
statement.
absolutely do not.
Tech
We
wanna
That
absolutely
make a
do
nigga.
not. Listen, this man thought Dragon Ball Z was a great movie. You can't trust
It
anything
is.
that comes out of
You
his
can't.
mouth.
No, come on.
Golly,
You
dude.
know he
Okay.
needs to be committed.
He needs to be in the firing squad.
I actually watched it this week.
Damn,
This week.
Fire Squad.
You
To show
watched it
my
this week,
kids.
right?
Yeah, I had to show my kids. You know,
Emotional damage.
teach
You
them what.
had the
No,
prime
Do they hate you now?
That's child abuse. That's
Do
child
they-
abuse.
Yeah, somebody report this, man.
Somebody should have called somebody on
Child
you.
abuse.
Your wife should have called somebody on you. That is child abuse.
Absolutely.
Like I'm sure, like if you look at like the rules about child abuse,
It's right there.
it's right there.
It's in
Like
there.
the Dragon Ball Z movie is the example they use after they give you all the rules of child abuse. So like, i.e., sitting your children down to watch this work of art.
Exactly.
Mm.
I
Terrible.
would say if it was Last Airbender, then we have problems.
Murray said Dragon Ball Z and Cyberpunk. That's that's true. Those are tech choices right there.
Mm.
I fully
Cyberpunk would be better than fucking Dragon Ball Z.
100% honest. Cyberpunk would probably make a great television series if they, added. I mean, like
Made it good.
I think the real issue wasn't the story as much as it was just all the other stuff around it. Because it wasn't like a necessarily bad story. It wasn't an inspiring story. Let me say that, but like there's been worse stuff on television than what happened in Cyberpunk.
Sure.
The game is the disappointing part. The actual.
I can see that. Y'all niggas ready?
Yep.
Yeah, let's get into it.
All right, let's go.
Hey.
Let's pray we're not.
Thank y'all for.
2 o'clock.
We're not. Oh my God, this nigga. Thank y'all for joining us and welcome to the podcast. Follow us at Blerdimension here on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. If you haven't already, turn on notifications so you can be the first to know we got new content for you. I'm Kavon, the Greedo Suave. We got JK, Be Sternal.
Yo, what's up? Happy Black History Month again. Hope y'all having a good week. Had to rock my new shirt. I am Black Wall Street.
Cool.
True.
Don't get bombed.
Okay. Oh my.
Wow.
So there we go. You got. There's your introduction to Creston, not sir.
I'm glad he said that.
Hold on, y'all. Just a
I'm
little
glad he
jokey
said
to get
He would be
lighten the mood.
What is it?
Yeah, right. Wouldn't be a light skinned nigga say some shit like that.
Real life.
He said it though.
Listen, he does not speak for the light skinned community.
It did happen. People think that was
In the light skinned nigga draft, we would like to get rid of Creston and saying shit like that.
Traded Creston for 2 picks and Andre Drummond.
Oh my God.
Andre Drummond. Oh damn.
Oh wow.
What's
got
up,
AJ,
y'all?
no Slinger.
How's everybody doing? Turn that light on real quick.
I gotta get something like that.
This mofo.
I really do. I gotta get the Superman version of it.
You gotta get that thing lit up over there, man.
I gotta get it lit up.
Just buy some LEDs and wrap it around it, man.
And wrap it around it, right? Just that's exactly what I gotta do.
You could buy a plexiglass joint and wrap the edges.
Yeah, man. It ain't no.
You need to get the Zod symbol.
He on eBay right now. You said what, JK?
How'd you know?
He needs to get the Zod symbol. That's more his.
Facts. Yep. So there you go. That's JD Creates Activity on eBay. Looking for a Superman logo.
I found it.
You're gonna get a box. Somebody gonna send you a box.
Like shit.
With the Superman logo on the box.
Drawn by like a 4-year-old.
The kids, they used to advertise like the thing, but it was really just the box to hold the thing.
Bruh.
Y'all never had that? That's kids like that have like a real cool toy, and you're like, oh, I want that. It's only like $7. You get it? It's like, no, this is the box to put the toy in. It's like a decorative box.
I've never had that happen to me. I'm so sorry.
Oh my God.
Jesus, you're young. That's because you're young.
Yeah.
They
Rip.
did that
Yep.
crap to us all the time.
Mhm.
Oh my god. Oh, there you go. Carl, XKVHX.
Boom. Yes.
Fresh with the waves.
I mean, the waves has to be here.
Swag surfing.
I mean, speedboating, personal, but yeah, how's it? Hope everybody's doing well. Not doing the best right now. AJ, what are we talking about right now? Calm down over there, okay? Nobody's playing Halo, okay?
Who would do that?
Um, I I just gotta have one eye on my kids. It's my kids. That's all that is.
It
But,
does seem like it's your kids the amount of time you spend with it.
how dare you? How dare
Oh
you?
my
Get your life
god.
together. Anyway,
Nigga said Carl in an empty room. Okay. All our pronouns are he, him, and his. We got 3 segments for y'all. We're gonna talk about some nerdy news and headlines. After news, we're gonna talk about a topic of the week. This week we're talking about Google Stadia and just like the future of cloud gaming. And then after that, we're gonna talk about what we've been consuming this week and what's good. That means games we've been playing, shows or movies we've been watching, comics, manga that we've been reading, all that kind of good stuff. After the podcast, we're gonna do a quick switch over, getting after podcast gaming. And we're gonna play some Halo and some Rocket League, Orange vs. Blue style. So, stick around for that. Let's get into the news. So, I feel like very expected news, Microsoft has confirmed that they're, gonna continue to release games on PlayStation and Nintendo and everywhere else beyond existing agreements, quote unquote. So which I mean, I feel like we all, when we talked about it, it was like that's a smart thing to do. But they didn't say, they were like, they're gonna continue existing franchises, but they didn't say they were gonna keep doing that for like new releases and new IP.
Gotcha, bitch.
So,
Those are important.
Interesting.
what games do y'all think might become like exclusive or might be released as exclusive if it's like new IP?
Doom.
Doom?
New IP. I mean, I don't.
New IP.
It's
That's good.
yeah. I mean, it's hard to
Yeah.
to say because it doesn't exist yet.
For sure.
So, but I would say like kind of the lower like run games, your Spyros, your Crash, your all of those type games. I think they can get away with that being exclusive. And then they can, just add more value to Game Pass. But I think really, I mean, this whole move with Microsoft and Activision, like them making it available to other platforms, they're just making Game Pass look like a better option, basically, if you think about it. So they're like, you can pay your $70 up front, or you could just hop on this Game Pass and you get access to your Call of Duties, your Overwatch, your Diablos, your World of Warcrafts, that type of stuff. So
why did it hurt you to say that?
Yeah, that side was kind of like
I was pained.
It was placed in the sentence at a specific point. Like,
terrible game. But yeah, so they're just making Game Pass look better. But as far as exclusives, I mean, they're gonna bring. I feel like they're gonna bring back a lot of some old Activision titles that they're gonna kind of get reintroduced, and I think those will be mostly exclusive, especially if they're not multiplayer. So.
I can see that. Maurice said if the games become subscriber based, I wonder if the games themselves would change, kind of like what happened to Halo multiplayer. So just, you mean like becoming live service on Game Pass games are becoming live service kind of by default?
Or does he mean like games in general that are, or does he mean like the design of games in general will change as subscriptions become more of the norm?
He said live
Like
service.
I think that pretty much has to be the case. I feel like.
I mean,
it's kind of going towards that way anyway. Like,
yeah,
with all the games that come out recently, has some type of live service added to it. Like even with Halo has the battle. Like the battle pass is like the go-to thing to add for.
It's upsetting
FPS.
me because I know I'm gonna spend so much more money on a game. Like for the longest, I'm like, yay, Game Pass, $15 a month, and now I'm gonna be spending what $40-$50 per year for the same game.
Yeah, just like
A
those
little
skins,
bitter about it.
that we got on Halo, right?
I don't know what. Nah,
I'm gonna be
I'm
honest.
glad.
It's hard. It was hard for me to. Well, I'm glad I didn't. We'll talk about this a little bit further, but I'm glad I didn't buy Battlefield just yet. But it's hard for me to buy a multiplayer game now. Like we were just talking about this. Like Tech was saying that all the games that he plays nowadays is free to play, and it's either for me. Same thing for me, but better. The other thing is free to play or some tied to some subscription model.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
it's hard for me to just buy like a shooter. It's $70 now. It has to be
I've-
like super on sale.
Yeah, that's just on a certain platform.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
so
I feel you on that. I can't, I'm trying to think about the last time I paid like full price to like play a game.
It was well, I know for me it was Modern Warfare and Black and Cold War.
Oh, yeah,
After
Cold
that,
War.
yeah, after that it's just been all
Not
service games.
exactly.
mhm.
And that was Cold
So
War was last
what was
November.
that
November.
2020?
Yeah, November 2020.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that I welcome it honestly, especially with multiplayer games. It's like I'm so used to it now. Like going buying Battlefield right now is seems very archaic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my question is, how Crossfire is coming out? Crossfire X is coming out on Game Pass in the next couple weeks. Do you think now since
It's already out. It came out today.
it came out today? Oh shit.
Yeah, I'm about to play that John.
Me too.
Hmm.
Saw the trailer.
And
What
then
is that?
do you Crossfire X is an FPS basically. And then they got that other joint called Atomic Heart coming out soon, I think later on. Which is almost like BioShock. It looks like it's an Xbox. Looks like it's gonna be on Game Pass most likely. Do you think that's the go-to now for since Microsoft has gotten Bethesda, which has a lot of good FPS like Doom, Wolfenstein, stuff
Wolfenstein.
like that. Um, Now they got Activision and Blizzard, so Overwatch is gonna be on Game Pass. Overwatch 2 is gonna
Oh
be on.
yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if all them Janks is by the end of this year, all those games are on Game Pass. Because that's what happened with the Bethesda shit.
Yep.
The deal wasn't necessarily finished, but
They put all of them
leading
on
up to it, they just started putting all them joints on Game Pass. They was like, all right, Fallout, all right, Game Pass, Evil Within, all the Bethesda games are pretty much on there. And then they
It
even
probably won't happen before though, because Bethesda was a private company, so they didn't need any regulatory approval. So they'll
Oh,
probably
true,
actually
true.
wait.
That's a good point.
They'll probably wait till it's official before it happens.
Makes sense. All right. So, and then Nintendo, we kind of talked about this. They're not, I mean, they're not really looking to acquire anybody. They, they're kind of like, we
They gotta get their
we
money
don't want
up.
to water down our Nintendo stock, not stock like the financial vehicle, but just like,
They're
their secret sauce,
Pedigree.
secret
basically.
sauce,
Yeah,
yeah.
pedigree. There we go. That's the word I was looking for.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like their Smash Bros stock.
You said what?
I thought you said stock. I thought you were talking about their Smash
Oh,
Bros.
you're making a Smash
Just
Bros.
their
reference.
lives, stock
Wow.
wise.
Stock
Oh
wise.
no.
Yep.
So I mean, they're good.
I
What
mean,
do y'all feel like there's anybody that they would want to buy or maybe want to sell to? Like, I mean, Nintendo is not that big.
yo, honestly,
Sega.
I was about to say Sega.
Sonic.
no, I want Microsoft to buy them.
Yeah.
You want
They
Microsoft
have
to buy
they
I want
Sega?
Microsoft to buy
Sega?
Yeah, because they've always had good synergy, dating back. Because remember when the Dreamcast died, the Xbox was basically Dreamcast too. You think about it. All the games
Right.
were just ported. All the games
Yeah.
were ported over to original Xbox. So after that, after Sega just
Project Gotham
imploded,
Racing.
yeah, after Sega imploded, I mean Microsoft basically was like, all right, shit, you can put all your shit on here, and then they've always had a good relationship. So I could really see that happening. But I wouldn't want Nintendo to buy them, to be honest.
Mm.
I was just thinking about Sonic. Like that's really the
Yes.
only reason. Like Sonic fits in with Nintendo characters to me, just because like that time period was Sonic and Mario. They kind of dominated the platformers
Could
at
you
that time.
imagine going back in time to like tell somebody that this is even a possibility?
Is Sonic and Mario going to be in the same universe?
Yeah,
They was like, "It's impossible, man."
because that was the beginning of console wars. That's what started all this shit.
Mhm.
And,
I mean,
yeah,
all that marketing, that toxic ass marketing. We were all victims of that shit. That's why I mean that's why we have console fanboys now. Because strictly from that period. That's where it started. So if you can go back in time to tell like any of the Sega or the Nintendo fanboys that one day Sega could basically be part of Nintendo, like people would probably die right then and there,
oh yeah,
pass out. So
I agree.
Nice.
But
I
you
mean,
know,
pretty
but do you
much
think
that.
so? If they didn't have that, if they didn't have Sonic and Mario going up against each other back then, which caused like Sega, Genesis, and Nintendo, Super Nintendo, and Sega CD, Sega Saturn, back and forth with those consoles. Do you think the industry would be better off, or would it
No.
be worse?
no, competition is good.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
We were just casualties of that shit. We were pawns in the whole thing.
They needed lemmings, and they found them.
Yep.
They found them, and like
Like back then,
who could we could we recruit to fight our war?
Basically, right?
That's nice.
Seriously.
Throw out some propaganda, divided the two groups, and unleash us on each other.
Absolutely. They
I
really
don't know
took
why
that.
I was pulling for like Sega more
I was
than
pulling for
Nintendo.
Sega so hard. I feel like
I
Sega was the
really
black
like
system.
Sega
I
But
really do. I
why?
feel
I don't
like
even know why I did. I
I
was
feel
because
just
they
like
like,
were
it
I
was
like
cooler.
Sega.
Sega was cool.
it was the black system. I'm telling you, it's not just the fact that the system was actually black and the Nintendo system was like a gray, closer to white color. It's not even the like I'm not like I find some kind of synergy with this black system. But what I am saying is like my uncle had a Sega. Like all the cool black people I knew had a Sega, and the Nintendo was
It was
like
cool.
yeah,
Sega was so fucking cool.
yeah. So
Think
like
about
it
like
was
the soundtracks of all those Sega games. Like it was
true.
heavily inspired by hip hop.
said
I
Like a
didn't
pop.
even think
lot
about that.
Oh my
like a lot of them joints are like you go back, it's like, oh shit, like this ain't like they really embrace like hip hop culture in a lot of these games.
That's true. I remember
Um
when they made I remember when Wu-Tang made it was on PlayStation, but they made a video game called Wu-Tang Shaolin Style, and they added on the back of the CD their album.
you can play it in a CD player, right?
Yeah, you can play it in CD player if you turn it on the other side, and then if you turn on, and then when you want to play, you put it on the side A, and you could. It's almost like side A and side B
Like a
cassette.
L like
A
a
record, like a
vinyl.
vinyl record. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and I was like, that's pretty tight. So, and I think even before Sega, they had Sega CD. They had cool games on that like Batman and Robin and Joe Montana. Um, a couple other. Oh, not Ace Combat, but Tomcat Alley.
The Disney games were those a Sega exclusive or were those
Those are
both
Sega
plat?
exclusives, like Aladdin.
I was gonna say Aladdin. Aladdin, they basically put the soundtrack on there 8-bit.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like, if Aladdin just got a great soundtrack to begin with for a Disney movie, and then you got that
For a
8-bit
Disney movie?
just. Well, I mean, I'm for a Disney movie in the sense that like it's not
It wasn't
like
corny.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like adults, it's not adult music, but it's entertaining music. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like bumping Aladdin, like just in their spare time. Nostalgia sake,
Wow.
nostalgia sake, you
Uh-oh, I think
will.
Kev, you
Yeah,
got something?
yeah, that's in your active rotation in your playlist. Aladdin, like a whole
I
new
have
world
a
just come on.
Disney slaps playlist
That's
in
a
my
Disney slaps
Spotify right
This
playlist.
now.
man does.
But
And
still, that's a
every
Disney
time he's
slaps
playing it,
playlist.
it makes me have to play it.
Look, a whole new world is a great song. I'm not saying it's not great. What I'm saying is I do not have it in an active rotation. When I want
I
to listen to
understand.
when I want to listen to Disney music, I will play that song. But what I'm saying is it is a Disney hit. It is not like you know, this is playing on the radio all the time. Unless you were going on
I
your way
got
to
you.
Disney World using their radio station, you didn't hear that song.
You
Like,
Disney channel, Disney Radio,
yeah,
Radio Disney.
Radio Disney, yeah, you're gonna hear a whole new world every 12 minutes. But you know, in regular life, that song really only affected me during nostalgic periods where everybody's just like, yeah, let's just belt out Disney tunes, or you know, you watching a Disney movie.
Oh no, I'll be bumping that at work, loud and proud, through my speakers. They be like, "What do you listen to?" Oh, Oliver and Company. You know, watch it. You know, Billy Joel. You know, a little bit of that.
Billy.
Look, I'm not against Disney movies and their soundtracks. That's not what I did. I didn't come out against those. I just said they are
I don't
a
know, AJ. That's
specific
how it felt.
genre.
That's how I felt, man. You know, there's a
From the
lot of us
top,
'90s
so.
kids. You know, we grew up on the fantasy of Disney. You know, happy ever actors. You know,
Listen, nobody is more in tune with what came out at Disney than I was. Parents were very strict about what I could watch. Disney Channel was in heavy rotation, so I know all the songs. You can't beat me with the songs. I know the songs. Now that I don't have
Oh
now
my
that I
god.
don't have to listen it's unfortunate.
Nah, it was bad. It was bad. I'm not gonna lie.
Kevin had to turn off his video. He's like, "Damn."
Lost him. I think he.
Oh no, we lost Kev.
Oh, well,
But yeah, I think Sega was definitely cooler at that time.
Mhm.
It's like easy to play.
Yeah, it's
Or he said they
cooler.
was dropping
Controller.
them joints off in the hood, and that's why everybody black had one.
What fighting games were on
Yeah,
Sega
I have one.
besides Virtual?
Everything.
Power
I
Stone.
played them all. I played them all on Sega.
They had
I'm talking about
Mortal
Sega Genesis.
Kombat,
Oh,
Sorry,
I'm
Sega
thinking about
Genesis.
Mortal
Dreamcast.
Kombat was
Street
definitely
Mortal
on.
Kombat.
Street Fighter
Street
2,
Fighter was on there definitely.
King of Fighters,
Switch.
Fatal Fury.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was on there.
Everything was on
I
Sega.
played all them joints on Nintendo.
Super Nintendo. Yeah.
Yeah, it was on both.
Those things were on PC before they were on almost anything, but like they were on like Street Fighter. I think.
Really back then.
Yeah, but
Because remember there was that big controversy with the Mortal Kombat that was on Genesis actually had blood,
had blood in it.
and then the one
Yeah.
that on
that's
Nintendo
right.
didn't
You had to
have.
put in the code, right? To
Had to
get the
put
blood.
green.
Yeah.
What?
Yep.
Yeah. It was a
I
blood
do not
code.
remember
That's what it was
Yeah.
called.
That was like one of the first codes is
Yep.
to put in
Yeah.
blood in Mortal Kombat.
Because when
That's crazy.
it activated, you would hear "Get over here!" and it would keep going.
No,
That's crazy.
Sega was all the cool
Sega was
people I
the
knew
shit.
had a Sega, man.
Let's bring back
Yeah.
Sega
I
Genesis.
still remember going to my cousin's house and playing that giant.
Yeah, shoot.
Crazy. I don't remember playing nothing on Sega except like Sonic. But
Streets
Damn,
of
yeah.
Rage, man.
Streets of Rage, nothing.
did not play
Classic
that.
soundtrack.
No.
Crazy
Streets of Rage.
Taxi. Legacy of Kain.
Daytona? I know you played Daytona.
I mean, maybe, but my memory
USA?
is like, nope.
Virtual Fighter, you played Virtual
I played
Fighter.
Virtual Fighter. I don't remember playing it on the agenda. But I mean, if that's where it was, then that's where I played it. That's crazy. I might have to go to Google after this. And Nintendo had a direct Tuesday. They had a direct this week. And they showed a bunch
who's
of
getting a Switch? Come on.
People who
Kev.
already got
That
one.
was not me.
Mm,
That's pretty much. Isn't that pretty much all their sales is repeat buyers?
I mean,
Mm,
I don't know
I
about
don't
that.
know.
Look,
well, maybe, but there's some of them gonna have multiple because like they just recently outsold the Wii, right?
That's what I'm saying. Like they're like,
I
I got one 2 years ago. I get another one.
I get another
well,
one.
but look, my Switch does not have an OLED screen, and I feel like I'm missing out
Oh,
because
you are, man. It's
because
beautiful.
my nephew's Switch has OLED screen. You think I'm gonna let my nephew rock a
Oh,
Switch
he's styling
with
on you?
OLED?
You
Yeah,
supposed to
like
give him your old Switch.
absolutely. He got his for Christmas. He's over here walking around with the OLED. I'm looking at my busted joint like this just don't feel right.
Flexing
Like,
on you. He's
this
like,
just don't feel right.
he's like,
So
how does it
Just
feel? You got
get a
money.
Steam
I
Deck.
don't. I got it before you.
Damn.
unfortunately, he has money too. He's the only child, so he's
Oh
probably
my
got more
God.
money than me too.
Got my money, definitely.
Maurice said beat up his dad.
Wow.
You buy that little nigga a Switch.
I'll show you a Switch, goddammit.
Facts. Oh my god.
Old school Switch.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Get out in the front yard. Go get a
Lord.
Switch, boy.
But no, I gotta buy a new one. It's obvious, right? That's the solution, right? Other than
That's it.
violence.
All you can
And
do.
Violence or
you
an
definitely gotta
OLED.
buy a new one because
Yeah.
your favorite game is coming out.
Ooh, which game is that?
Advance Wars.
Oh yeah, I forgot. That is coming out. That's coming out like what, 2 months?
Yes, very soon.
Man, yeah, I love that game so much.
Advance Wars. What was that?
Yeah. It's a real-time strategy game, but it's like
It's really fun.
yeah, it's kind of like if chess had animations basically and a larger map, larger board.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like it's and the characters were cooler. But yeah, just it's basically that. Like each it's like you have these pieces on and you put them on a map and they're like fashioned after like units in the military. So you got your infantry and your anti-aircraft and you got your tanks and stuff like that. And you kind of like trying to beat the other team's commander or destroy their home base. And you just move these pieces around on the board, and each piece gets a turn to move, and then it's the next player's turn to move all of their pieces. You got to just basically dominate a bunch of people. I suck at strategy games. I just love them for some reason, and that's the best one.
Sure.
I do got to get an OLED. That's basically what Preston said, and he's absolutely right. So
Yep,
You need that.
absolutely.
They
I feel
bring
like
in
you should just get a OLED TV and just
yeah.
forget the
Hey,
Switch.
plug it in the dock. There you go.
Mm.
Easy money.
no, I need the OLED.
I'm going, hey,
I need it.
AJ, do you
Man.
primarily play your Switch in handheld or dock mode?
You know, it started off in dock mode because I played a lot. I was playing a lot of Smash Brothers and Mario Kart with my family. But as they all decided to not play those things anymore, the Switch became a more personal console. So now I play it almost strictly handheld.
damn.
Yeah, back when we were all playing, they got on Call of Duty, and I haven't seen my family since. Like when it comes to games,
That sounds
Damn.
about right.
I talk to them on the phone all the time. I know they're okay, but since they started playing Call of
They
Duty,
made the
like
right decision.
there's like stuff happening in their lives that I don't hear about anymore because they talk about it on the Call of Duty chat, and then I find
Yeah.
out later, like through like a third party. It's like,
Like me.
yeah,
Damn.
JK probably would know more because he's playing these games that they play, but I don't find out anything
Might
until
know a lot.
later. Because it's like how when we as black people tell white people like some of these rules are unfair because you guys are exposed to certain things that we're not exposed to, and they're like, no, that's not true. Anybody could. That's what it feels like. It feels like it's like I'm not in the room where things happen, which is the Call of Duty party chat, and so I don't get the information that my family is out there disseminating with each other.
You haven't
So that
converted them
was
to Halo?
no. Well,
It's free to play?
my whole family started Halo. They went Call of Duty because of my little sister. She's a trader, and she decided that she wanted to play Call of Duty, and now she won't come back to Halo. I tell her to her face, like it's in the secret. She's a trader. She's the first defector. She dragged my brother with her. Her husband
Damn.
plays it. Got my cousins involved. It's pretty nasty. But yeah, I don't get invited to Call of Duty chats, so I don't know what's going on with the family. I miss you guys. If you're
Right here.
watching,
I miss you.
Yeah.
Rip. We got Mario Strikers coming back, which is, from
That
what I
looks
can
super
tell,
fun.
like Rocket
Soccer?
League
Isn't
with
that soccer,
Mario
right?
Yep,
characters.
Yeah.
Are we
that
Nintendo
looks
characters
super
right now?
fun. I'm a big fan of Mario sports games. It's so
Yeah.
much fun.
Yeah, they do a great job of
They do.
turning Mario, basically just pouring Mario out to different things.
Exactly.
Like, that man is
He's the most
working.
tired. I know, right? I always think about that. I was like, who's like the most tired video game character that just gets poured out to everything? And I
It's
think Mario
Mario.
takes the cake. Yeah.
It's Mario. Like, and somebody,
Not
there
even
was this
close.
conspiracy theory. I don't remember where I saw it. I don't remember where it started on the internet, that like all of the Nintendo characters are just in this shared universe where they're all actors.
Oh
Did
shit.
we talk about this on the podcast?
I
No.
think so. That
I
sounds
remember
sounds
seeing this.
familiar.
We
They're
talk
like
on
all
this podcast.
actors, and so Mario's not a plumber. He's an actor playing a plumber who saves the world. Like, he's not an actual. Like, they're all actors, and so everything is. That's why he does so many things, is because he's just like in this new installment. It's like a new movie coming out with your favorite actor in it. It's Mario.
In a
So-
world where you're a plumber and save the world.
Exactly. But yeah, that's why Mario's got so many jobs. That's why he can play soccer. And you're like, why is Mario playing soccer with Bowser? Like, they should really be like, they're mortal enemies, right? Like Bowser's always stealing his girl and locking her in a tower. Like,
No,
Yeah.
fucking creep.
that's a serious offense.
How is he getting out? Like, they should lock him up there with a key.
I'm saying.
Could have been killed Bowser.
Like I said, they gotta be friends. So like when they're not like, throwing each other off bridges and stuff and in the pits, they out just sipping
In the
a
break
cup of
room.
coffee, in the break
Yep.
room, waiting for to get called back to their scene. So it makes sense to me, because he's been racing with this nigga. He in both in the
Playing
Olympic
tennis.
Games and and on the racetrack. He's playing tennis
Yeah.
with this nigga. Like, Waluigi and Luigi can be on the same team in doubles matches? There's no
Yep.
way. That don't make no sense. Something's going on in this Nintendo universe.
Facts. Oh, and they are bringing a Wii Sports sequel to the Switch. I wonder. How was that gonna go?
I mean,
Like, do the Joy-Con have
yeah, they're
Yeah.
motion?
They,
Okay.
they do, but they're just. I think they're as good.
They're not as like
Sensitive.
they work different than the Wiimotes, but they I don't know how to describe it. But yeah, they have like I think what was that? The 1-2 switch, and then there was that other what was that shit? The fitness joint for a Switch?
Ring
They're
Fit.
Ring
the
Fit.
ring thing.
Yeah, I think those are just
Ring
like
Fit is very
prototypes.
sensitive. Ring Fit is very sensitive.
Well, so I won't tell you how I know this, but they have like a little exercise boxing game,
Yeah.
and you have to like throw a punch. I don't know how I know this, but like,
Right.
I'm not gonna reveal my sources. But
Sure.
exercise boxing game on there, and you got to use the motion controls to kind of throw the punches, stuff like that. And so I know that it has that, but it for some reason feels less responsive to me. Like, all the motions kind of feel like sometimes from what the other person who plays the game told me, is when you throw a hook, sometimes it doesn't register. So I know that it's not that good. So
Mm.
That's interesting.
and Maurice, you just keep trying to stay on my list, man. You just can't over here
On site.
like I can't read these comments, man. You keep staying on my list. Like, I keep forgetting we're enemies, and you keep reminding me.
You're right. Like
Like,
that.
that's what it
AJ
is.
gonna be at the next DCGG event, just chilling in the
Absolutely.
cut.
Absolutely.
waiting.
It ain't nothing to buy a little ticket these days. Ain't nothing to buy a ticket these days. I can buy a round trip for $100.
No.
My show was like, so what's up, nigga? I heard you've been talking stuff on the chat. What's
He's not
good?
even gonna talk. He's on site.
I
He's
know,
like,
right?
Straight
Good.
ball.
Yeah,
He's
I'm not saying a word.
not a word. He knows what
You
he's
gonna
doing.
you gonna
knows
snuff
what
him
he's
like
in.
Mario in Video Game House?
Oh
Say it
wow.
again. Oh,
You
yeah.
gonna snuff- you gonna snuff-
I didn't even see the
Here
AJ
we
kind of looking like a real world Nintendo me character
Bruh.
go.
The disrespect.
The disrespect.
on site. On
It's
site.
real.
It
Y'all
was
fucking with
real.
anything else from this direct?
I mean, no,
So
I zoned out when we said Nintendo. Are we
fuck.
done?
No, because well, I did want to say one thing. I mean, I'm not
Oh, shit,
buying
here
a
we
Switch
go again.
anytime soon, but like, how are they announcing new DLC for Mario Kart 8 instead of announcing Mario Kart 9? Ain't that shit like old as
'Cause
fuck?
that shit's still selling, dog. There's no reason.
That's
I mean, just drop new
crazy.
tracks. It's a really good game. I don't understand. I don't really see the need for Mario Kart 9 to
But
be honest.
but it feels small though, right? And the game feels small. It's like a really small set of tracks. Like they should be.
That's why they're selling you DLC.
That's what I'm
and
saying. But
more
like,
DLC.
it's been too long. That those tracks should have dropped a year or two ago.
Yeah.
Like, cause I hadn't had a Switch for a minute, and
They don't care about you.
didn't race every one of those races at least 60, 11 times. So now they're like, okay, now we got some deals. They like Nintendo when they want to make money, they just make money. They literally, it's
That's
almost they almost have a printing press. Like they almost don't even need your help. They just go to
On
the
site.
go to the basement, press a button, and print out cash. Like it's
Yep.
ridiculous.
Nintendo bucks.
Yeah.
Ninbucks.
Wow.
Like
Easy.
M. Bison from the Street Fighter movie.
Oh yeah, that was such a bad movie. Still better than Dragon Ball Z though.
Exactly.
Infinitely better.
Agreed. There's a petition on change.org to file a class action against EA for Battlefield 2042 being I mean, I guess just a
Okay.
terrible fucking game. So when I last looked at the joint, they had over 130,000 signatures out of 150. Like their goal is 150,000, and they had like 136,000.
Can I ask a question? This is kind of serious question.
Okay.
Has change.org ever changed anything with these?
I know. That's what I was thinking too.
I don't know.
I think
Because
the publicity
I
of
think
it.
change.org is the one who's winning in this. Like you're coming to
I
their
mean-
site, getting clicks. I just set up some advertisements to tell people, hey, come here and sign this petition. And saying, wow, I'm gonna be selling you, these advertisements, these Google ad clicks are gonna or whatever, Google ad whatever is gonna pop up and get those AdSense. And y'all can just come here and vent your frustrations about Battlefield by signing this petition. But I've never heard of a change.org. Like I hear that name a lot, but I never hear anything happen because of it. You know what I'm saying? Like I hear a lot of people like, let's sign a petition.
Maybe people don't give them their credit. I don't know. Actually, like
they're just monetizing outrage, if you ask me. Like if you hate,
I can see that.
You can complain about it here, and then we'll publicize it. And all you got to do, you just got to come here and click on stuff. We don't care, like.
And we'll promise we'll send the change that we're doing to the organization you hate, and they'll put it in their suggestion.
Yeah, we'll send them a
They'll put it in their suggestion. I mean, I think if I don't know, I'm not a lawyer, but I feel like if they have any kind of a real case, it could get picked up if it gets enough attention. And I think that's what they're going for. They want people to pay attention, and niggas hoping to get their money back at least.
Well, then if that's the case, then we need to start one for the Dragon Ball Z movie as well as the Last Airbender movie because I spent my money. There should be a class action against them. Those were terrible movies. So if we can just get mad because people make terrible products and we got duped and we want to sue people. Then
they said there was false advertising. The game was not finished. They demoed things that weren't true. They promised things that didn't happen. Oh shit!
I've heard people say
with Last Airbender too.
I was about to say I heard people say the same thing about the prequels in the Star Wars movies. So can they start a change.org petition to get their money back from 40 years ago or whenever that movie came
40
out?
Nah, statute of limitations probably up on that. They had a luck on that one right there.
I'm sorry, Cap. Discord's being real fucking annoying today.
It's all gonna be like that. Oh my god.
Oh, class action.
That thing is trash for a living.
That's our
It's
change.org
one man.
for Discord video
Change.org, let's
issues.
go.
Damn. I mean, like I don't know how class actions work. Do y'all think if they get enough attention that other publishers are gonna be like, okay, maybe we should stop releasing broken games?
No.
Nope. They're still gonna release
Nah,
those games.
Not a chance. Everybody was
No.
immediately like, no.
nah.
Man,
Because I mean, so
Money
think
too
about
good.
these games still
if our
sell so
opinions
much.
mattered.
True.
Mhm.
They still sell so much, so people still show up and buy it. The fucking the GTA trilogy release,
Oh
like
my
that game is still broken, and they sold like their shit ton. Like they made their money back and then some on that joint. So they didn't get that. Like people aren't really. It's like people that are in the know that are, pissed off and kind of putting it out there, which is why I think petitions like this do good. It's publicity. It's publicity for the problem. A lot of people are probably playing Battlefield like, man, this shit sucks, or like why is this shit so buggy and blah blah blah.
right.
And then they don't even know about the thing, and then they see an article like, "Oh, there's a class action lawsuit. Yeah, this game is fucking broken. I thought it was just me." Blah blah blah. So I think the publicity of it helps out, but in terms of the actual petition, that shit ain't gonna do nothing.
Yeah, it
They're not
doesn't
gonna
make
learn
any
their
sense.
lesson.
You can sell bad stuff, especially video games, because nobody's in danger, right? Like
Yeah.
if you releasing like faulty mechanical equipment that could get people
Yeah,
injured.
somebody to die.
Yeah, you don't have to go to change.org. Some lawyer will contact you, right? Like if it's something that's
Exactly.
getting people injured, like this is a video game. No harm, no foul. You can release terrible content. There are books on Amazon right now, right? That literally they're beating the algorithm. We talked about this before on the cast, but they're beating the algorithm for like selling books by just creating a book that has like a table of contents and you can skip to the end, and then because you get paid for every page somebody reads basically, or something like that. And
Oh,
so
shit.
they're like, yeah, just go to the end, like click this link and you
I remember
zip
that
all the way to
convo.
the end, and so they're basically releasing books that have no content in them on Amazon, and you can get duped and buy that stupid book and for 99 cents. You think you're gonna get your 99 cents back? Man, you might. Amazon, the only thing that's gonna happen is you might get refunded, and Amazon might, take that book out of their store. But you're not, like, nothing's gonna happen to the person who released that trash, right? People been selling, snake oil salesmen are a thing, right? They sell you something, they say it's gonna cure.
Especially in today's yeah.
Yeah.
Wise.
Yeah, it's gonna cure your issues, right? It's gonna cure your ailments. Drink this, whatever. I think that's been happening forever. Like, and those people continue to be snake oil salesmen. Only thing you can do is ostracize them in society.
Wish on like
And
Facebook.
That does nothing. Not today.
Wish.com?
Yeah, they have their ads like, yeah, look how good this looks, and then you get it, and it breaks in your hand.
Yeah, but then people make content about that crap, pitching that crap while being sponsored by Wish at the same time, and it's just it's a never-ending cycle.
Absolutely,
and they keep bankrolling. I mean, it's all.
Oh yeah, Maurice brought up ghost kitchens, right? Like all of this, you can cheat and scam people legally.
Finesse.
Like our system is not set up for. There's no morality in capitalism, right?
No.
Like if you get duped, you get duped, and the only way that you get any kind of like legal recourse usually is if it harms you or if it affects the wrong person. So affects the right rich person, then yes, you can get a lot of stuff done, because the truth is, you throw enough lawyers at a problem, I just feel like you can always sue somebody. Like you throw enough, they'll find a way to get damages from this. But when it comes to like a video game that affects like 0.0001% of the population, you're probably not gonna see much, move forward
at all. Yeah.
Rip. All right. So, and then
your questions, Love.
What's up?
Ain't shit gonna change. Nothing gonna change. Nothing
No.
will change.
Just make that shit free to play. We'll forgive you. Well, JK won't forgive you because he's spent a pretty penny on
You
it.
ain't learned from Carl, bro. What happened?
I mean,
I know, right?
You would have put that $100
Time out.
into
Carl's
cryptocurrency. You would have made some money.
Was that he bought it and he didn't play it because he got stuck
Look,
at creating an account.
Look, why are we creating accounts? I just spent, what was it, $90? A better part of a Benjamin? What are we doing making accounts out here?
True.
Already have an account. Xbox. Thank you.
So with
It's
me,
trash.
I played the game consistently. I think I'm at level 65.
Mm-hmm.
So I put hours into it.
At least you don't.
Maybe I would have been at level 65. I don't even remember the game anymore. What is it called?
Just named after one of the greatest movie franchises of the last 20 years.
Avengers, is that what it was?
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Oh, also this week we had like a geomagnetic storm, thanks to good old sun, and knocked out 40 like recently launched SpaceX satellites that were in like low Earth orbit.
I was about to say they're low Earth orbit. Shouldn't the higher Earth, like the
That's
ones
what I
that
was
are like
thinking.
deeper in space, being
More vulnerable,
easily
right?
affected by that?
Yeah.
You would think. But what the article said was that the ones that are closer are easier pulled back in into the thicker part of the atmosphere, basically, and then like burn up, so destroyed.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Because I was like, these are like the satellites that are gonna fall down eventually anyway. Like they don't have that long.
To kill us.
Like he's gonna have to constantly launch satellites for the rest of SpaceX
Why?
existence. Well, they don't have a lifespan. They're not permanent satellites.
Yeah.
According to what I read on SpaceX.
Isn't there also like a ring of junk, like millions of dollars
Yes.
worth of satellite parts,
Yeah.
just like
Yes.
floating up there?
Billions of dollars.
Billions of dollars of satellite parts.
You can't launch anything for
We're-
with just millions unless
we're
you want to
gonna-
be broke afterwards.
No,
We're
you
still gonna have a
can't.
ring like Saturn.
Facts
Just
of
not
just man-made
trash.
shit. Yeah.
Guys, I have a business proposition for you. Who wants
We
to
gonna
become
exactly space trash man.
Listen,
Shit,
and
we
you
got
know they'll
clean
let
these
us do
goddamn
that,
oceans.
right? They'll
Facts.
let us do it.
Because we're gonna die. That's why.
Exactly.
You said they're
why
gonna.
we do it.
On Netflix.
All you need is a grain of sand to hit that fucking spacesuit, and you are out of there.
Oh, you are done.
Yeah, pretty much.
They'll be
There's
like,
a-
"Yeah, nigga, you got it. You got it."
You become part of the space trash is what you're gonna end up happening.
So one of the things I don't understand is how come these satellites got destroyed and the other ones like our GPS satellites, our whatever other satellites, how come those weren't
Well, those are higher, right? Because GPS is geostationary.
so it being higher is you're protected?
That doesn't make any sense to me, but apparently.
Right?
Yeah.
You know what I think it is? I really think it's espionage, and then like the NSA is like, shut your mouth or we'll kill you. I really think China blew his junk up and be like, look, you got to keep this on the wraps. We can't get people scared. If you say anything, we'll kill you.
I mean,
yeah, let's blame it on a geomagnetic storm. Can't nobody tell? Who else?
Who's gonna prove it?
Who's gonna know
looking
that?
at the sun like, man, this sun is storming.
It's storming today. It looks like a storm today.
That's true. And
the sun
like
doesn't look any different. It could literally be about to explode, and we would not know. So
wouldn't know for 8 minutes. If it exploded.
And then we wouldn't know after the 8 minutes because instantaneously we'd all freeze to death.
We would all be dead.
Oh god, we're all gonna die.
One day.
Yeah, that's always been a fact.
Yeah. I don't understand that either, as far as like the rest of the satellites, why they weren't affected in any way. But I mean, I guess espionage is possible because like they burn up on reentry. Like where's the evidence? So I don't know.
Yeah, and then
that's one.
Well, they gotta make sure these things are landing in the fucking ocean. I ain't trying to wake up one morning and that shit just be in my yeah, it should be in my fucking backyard.
There's no guarantee. You can't wake up dead.
You gotta knock on the door like Mr. Shirley. We talked for a minute. So we see that there's satellite hit your yard. We're gonna give you X amount of money to shut up. We're gonna take it off your hands. And yeah, if you go outside this non-disclosure agreement. You know, maybe get another visit from us where you may not see us.
Hey, that money buy me a new house, so thank you. I'll get
Facts.
out. You can have it.
You can have it. Keep it.
Or they go the other way. They go eminent domain style, and they just possession. They repossess.
Oh my,
I'm just
that would be the
homeless.
worst,
Yeah.
right?
Like, yeah, we'll give here $10. That's right. For
Eminent
the house
domain
market
for
these
science.
days.
Right.
Wow.
For science and military
That would be
purposes.
heartbreaking.
Absolutely. Maurice said people have a
Hey.
1 in 700,000 chance of dying from space debris in their lifetime. I mean,
it's not zero though.
Exactly.
Not
It's
zero.
winning the lottery, actually, isn't it? The lottery
What
is
about
in the millions.
Yeah, the lottery's in the millions.
It's like the lottery. It's like getting mauled by a regular bear and then getting mauled by a polar bear, and then it's space debris like right after it. Like the
what about
lottery is like
lightning?
lightning is like 1 in 500 or something like that. It's like really close. Like people get shocked by lightning all the time.
Yeah. You ever seen them videos of like people in China get shocked?
No, nigga.
Damn, people in
I'm sure it happens at least at one golf course every year. I'm sure because like if you've ever been to the golf, they usually shut the golf course down when the thunderstorm's in range, and lightning can strike you from like 100 miles away. It can literally hit you from 100 miles away. Like that's the longest recorded strike, or at least from what I was researching. But like the people who are like on the course don't want to stop golfing. They know the storm's there, but they're like, I got time. So they will literally swing an iron club, and hit that golf ball. They're turning, and the golf course is like all the trees are away from you. That's the point of the course.
Yeah.
So you're pretty much turning yourself into a lightning rod. So I'm sure it happens once a year at a golf course all over the country. So
mostly in Florida.
Yeah, well, Florida's littered with golf courses. Yeah, of course.
True.
And Florida's like the best place to get shocked by lightning. Like,
yeah, it's the lightning capital.
There's more lightning strikes happening down there. That's why they study lightning in Florida.
Oh, that's tight.
This nigga said, and gators.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. There are always gators on golf courses. I don't know why.
One day,
because of
one day they're gonna get
the water.
Yeah, there's water, but like you would think that you would have anti-gator like like techniques. Like
that is an eyesore. Okay, people get bit by gators. It happens. We can't be ugly up our courses.
Bit by gators is like just a mosquito hopping up on your leg and biting you. You know
what I've never heard? Because there's water in putt-putt. I've never heard anybody get bit by a gator in putt-putt.
Facts.
Is it as big as deep as a regular course?
There's gotta be a putt-putt golf course out there that's extravagant enough to have real gators, but they don't have them.
And it's not expansive. Like the gator would have to cross a parking lot to get into that water.
They do it.
No. Like if you got a nice golf course, what's beyond the golf course is usually more unoccupied land.
That's true.
So they just scurry on over, take a dip, and bite some unsuspecting people.
On the bright side, I found some very fascinating videos on hacking satellites that I'm going to be occupying myself with.
Listen, we have no affiliation with
was talking about.
Yeah.
Zero affiliation with you.
Absolutely.
This man is a security researcher, and we don't.
And that's part of his job.
Yeah.
And also, this is all hypothetical.
Employable skill set.
Satellite.
So what is? Let's circle back to this. So what's the plan for this? Like, how do you? I mean, you can't.
You just launch more
protect your satellites against this. Do you just
against the sun? No.
Launching more You said what?
Against the sun? No, you.
No, you can't.
You cannot protect your. We can't even protect our own skin against the sun. No. You can't. You just got to launch more satellites.
This is why. And he only lost 40. He only lost like 40. Like, with how he's rolling now, I think he's launching anywhere between 10 and 20 per launch. And he's literally launching pretty much every week or every other week. So because he did the great work of bringing down the cost of launching, it's not costing him as much as like if
NASA.
Verizon lost a satellite or something. Verizon loses a satellite, they're freaking losing their mind. He's like, dang, we lost that. Oh well, we launching some more next week.
40 more.
Exactly.
Damn.
Doesn't he launch them by the hundreds anyway?
It's somewhere between 10, 20, maybe even 25, something like that per launch. But he's launching like every week now.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that is nuts. Like if you could do like once a month, that's intense. Like I think before this, like for the space shuttle is the closest thing to reusable we had before. I think they were launching maybe like twice a year or something like that, maybe. And he's just every week.
It's out here.
Yeah,
it's kind of
crazy.
That's what being 100 billionaire will get you.
Absolutely. Jesus.
Oh, so it seems like, according to this article, it says that the release of the solar storms energy gets absorbed by our atmosphere, which is basically extreme ultraviolet. And then the
Is that
atmosphere
our ionosphere
expands.
that absorbs that?
I think so. So I guess they're just getting like a amplified
EMP kind of situation going on.
Basically, yeah. So I think as further up away from
the magnetic field
atmosphere, yeah.
planet. Okay,
Exactly, yeah.
And I thought that, but I was like, I don't know enough about physics to even bring that up.
Facts.
Because I would it would be science fiction if I brought it up. So
100%.
That's actually pretty cool though. I'm not gonna lie. This is.
I really hope it is like a magnetic storm and not the espionage thing.
I think so.
He can catch L point. And
they've been talking about the magnetic storm for a couple weeks, though. At least from what they were saying.
That's what they normally would do with an espionage.
Oh my god!
If it were to occur, they would do a media outpour.
But how can you talk about unless the satellites were broken a long time ago and he's just reporting it now? Like, cause they can't be like, yeah, we know they're gonna do some espionage, so let's just talk about a solar storm and then here's like if you knew when the espionage was coming, you would just stop it. So you can't be like, oh, we're gonna get robbed in a.
He wouldn't even if
the storms are cyclical.
Yeah, every 11 years.
The solar cycle.
Yeah, we're coming up on like the peak of one cycle is what they said. So,
it's like the El Nino of solar storms.
Basically,
there should be a lot of auroras out there now.
Yeah.
If it's,
Yo, I really want to see that in real life. That's like that's still on my bucket list of seeing. Yeah.
Just like the magnetic, our poles protecting our planet from the solar rays is kind of like what I imagine like shields would be on like a spacecraft. When they're like ray shields, like that's exactly like our planet came with its own like natural shields.
Yep. This China is a spaceship.
Mars is freaking getting hammered out there. Mars ain't got no protection.
Nope. The moon has no atmosphere. Mercury has no atmosphere. Venus has too much of an atmosphere.
I just saw a video on Venus. They had some actual like they got like a small
Russian. Yep.
At like the actual surface of Venus.
Lasted like 20 seconds.
That shit freaked me out for some reason. I don't know why it freaked me out, but I was like, "Oh, there's stuff on Venus." Like I don't know why, but I was like freaked out immediately. Like
that's like my favorite planet because it's like our evil twin.
Yeah,
it really
pretty much. It's like if everything that made us didn't happen. Venus.
It's like Venus is like it's supposedly like flipped upside down, like the poles are reversed. It spins backwards. It's hot as shit. It's almost the same size as Earth.
It's poisonous.
Like it's fucking. It's like a failed experiment of Earth. It's like we'll try again. It's like we got it.
It's too close to the sun. Let's move it over.
You're too close, man. You're too close. You're too close.
Mars was a failure too. That was like
we done a little too far.
We went too big with Jupiter. Then
What if the
Ah.
planets in just general are just old file projects? Like the project started, he just didn't want to delete the files. Like just like
So we're just looking at memory addresses. That's why we can see them, but they're so far away.
Basically.
It's like it's another memory address. It's just another pointer. That's all it is.
That's all it is.
Damn.
Before it was able to sustain the planet or sustain life was
Shit.
a wasteland too, wasn't it? It was
Yeah.
volcanic.
Earth, yeah.
Very, very unlivable.
Bombarded
Yeah,
by.
but
Yeah, they haven't pushed the new update yet.
You're done. So,
They're
even with
crunching.
the
Earth
even with
Patch 2 where there was actual like opportunities for life.
Yeah.
and then update 3 was the dinosaurs, and then
Yeah, they
clear-
had to
clear-
wipe
the single
those.
cell
the
organism.
white
Oh, facts,
server
facts,
was
facts. Season
the
1.
asteroid.
Yeah,
The white
facts.
what?
RMF. RM dash RF.
Dinosaurs.
Damn.
Now, you know, at that point, it's one of those times the senior dad comes and just like, who the fuck added dinosaurs? Huh? Who did it? Which one of you motherfuckers did it? Who did it? It was
God,
delete that shit.
Yeah, you had to delete it with an
We are
asteroid.
professionals.
you never seen Lil
Make those little
Dicky's,
monkey things grow.
you never seen Lil Dicky's his little rap video called that shit was hilarious. Guy was like, why the fuck I make dinosaurs? Hold on, let me just destroy all of them real quick.
Wow.
It didn't work out.
Right?
It looked
Not-
cool though.
Exactly. Listen, I thought the dinosaurs were gonna look cool. I was being an artist.
Well, now in Jurassic Park, they said, oh, we're gonna bring them back. I want to see
Oh,
dinosaurs.
and that's absolutely gonna happen eventually.
Oh yeah.
That's
They
absolutely.
already found the amber thing with
Yeah.
the mosquito DNA in it.
And
I find
They
it's
found that back then when the
Humanities.
movie first came out. They already had
Mhm.
the amber stuff.
They try to make a dinosaur out of a chicken egg.
Sci-fi.
yeah, they're adding dinosaur DNA to chicken embryos, right? So it's literally gonna happen, and everything that happened will happen in life, and hopefully it is on an island. That's all I hope. Is it's on an island, and
They don't make the flying ones.
I
I just don't
really-
want the flying
There's
ones.
water dinosaurs.
I want to be
We're not
rich.
No,
safe.
I have no desire for those fuckers.
You do not want no damn.
Do you know how big those
what's it
motherfuckers
called?
were? Like the water-based
The
creatures back then.
Galapagos.
How
Galapagos.
disrespectful. How dare you?
Those things were massive.
Yeah.
Like
You saw in
continent
Jurassic Park
wide.
Dominion. that
Technically,
motherfucker-
sharks are dinosaurs, though. They've been around the whole time.
the
Sharks-
megalodon is a dinosaur.
Yeah, but I'm saying like sharks was there the whole time. Alligators were
Gators,
there.
yep.
Gators were
Have
also
you ever
there.
seen like a snake-like dinosaur? That
Yeah.
is something to keep you up, and I
Serpents.
forget the name of it. But
Yeah, that thing.
I
used
remember when
to
I
be-
learned about it, I had nightmares. Like I remember learning about it in school, and I had nightmares of that thing coming back to life and swallowing me whole.
No, they're all coming back.
Emus are dinosaurs.
Who is
Emus are descendants of raptors.
all birds are. I'm convinced that's
Yeah.
why geese are so mean because
That's
they
fine.
remember when they used to run around and like rule
Right,
the
they
I
planet,
remember they used to run shit.
and now they're just like they like one day like there was like one day we'll go back to the old days, you know, when we ran the planet, and so they kind of like that's where they have their chest out all the time. They just remember in the old days. Trash geese.
Oh, Suave, you are on mute, sir.
Yeah, Suave is muted.
You know what? Suave?
Still on
Thanks
mute.
for being a good human and keeping our group's morality up a little bit.
Oh, gosh.
Ethically gray, but leaning. Okay, well.
Muted as can be.
Still very muted. He said,
Yeah.
"What's going on?"
Hey, they said, "Hey, disconnect Suave. He out this. He
There
out."
you go.
Right. Goddamn. I definitely pressed the button and it was like, nah, player. But yeah, so this nigga Maurice asking about owning old humans. Like
Whoa,
ancestors
Pre-
of humans.
Well, you'd have to go past Neanderthal too, because Neanderthals and Homo sapiens kind of like mixed a little bit. So
They did mix.
yeah, so that means they're genetically close enough to, you know, you don't want to own them either. That's also slavery still.
Yeah,
I just don't think it's right. That's just me. It sounds too much like slavery, and I feel like we're not that far from real slavery already. So like going right back to it immediately. I feel like we need to give slavery like a good,
300, 500 years.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think we need a couple millennia between slavery and then we
humanity before we.
Then we can cycle back around because the whole thing cycles, right? So let's take the long route back.
Yeah, let's take the scenic route. We don't want to go right back.
Exactly. I mean, paying people nothing is definitely not a life-changing idea.
I mean, Elon Musk is gonna pay people nothing very soon when he gets his robots off the ground. So you don't have to worry about paying people nothing. All the billionaires are just gonna buy Tesla robots, and there will be no use for us poors. So
no.
I told you, brokies, not poors.
I'm sorry,
brokies. It's poors.
We all pay our bills here. We ain't poor.
Yeah, that's true. We're not poors, we're the brokies. We're the break evens.
Break evens. There you go. Now Maurice, he is another.
He's on his way to being a rich. Yeah, he is. Which is why the pompous kind of nature is like his attitude. The fact that he wants to own humans.
Which is why I asked Maurice for a slight donation to his favorite podcast, The Blerdimension.
Yeah, is this motherfucker even subscribed? Calling him out right now.
I think it
is. Nope, it has previously subbed for 2 months.
Oh damn.
Not maybe.
Oh wow, the what?
Oh,
what?
Wow.
Ban. Insta ban.
He said the Joe Rogan podcast is his favorite podcast. That sounds right. No, that sounds right.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
Sounds right. It sounds right. All
well,
bombs he's dropping. Yeah. It sounds like some. It's almost like our podcast. There's only like one thing missing. We drop a lot of N-bombs here.
Yeah. only one thing missing.
He's just missing like 90% more melanin, and it would be the Blerdimension podcast.
Jesus.
Oh man.
All right.
The Bonnie and Clyde of Bitcoin. I can't wait for the documentary. That's what I
can't wait for the documentary.
I can't wait for the docu-series. Like, give it 5 years. They're gonna be like, listen.
The problem is they stole a rapidly inflating crypto coin. Like if they had stolen like
anything else,
like Shiba or Dogecoin, they'd still be hiding that money. But they stole Bitcoin, and it's just like the money kept growing. It's like you get into the vault and all the money's falling out, and then the hole breaks and the money gets bigger. Like, oh shit, we only had a basket big enough for like a little money at a time. Like no, it's.
I mean, when they took it, right, it was already a large amount of money. And then, like, just to think that it was just sitting there. Like, I'm always fascinated by, like, all these wallets that moved a bunch of money, like Bitcoin, at one point in time, like 4 years ago. And now these wallets are billionaires, but you don't see any traffic in these, right? Like, you never see a move, nothing like that.
So they just hold it.
They just, I don't even know if they just hold it or if it's gotten through illegal means, whatever. But in their case, right, they couldn't move the money. They had to come up with this whole plan and stuff like that. And I looked at a few of the docs of how they were going to route it. They were going to buy NFTs. They were going to change it into other currencies, and they were going to try and all
launder to their personal businesses.
It's turned to Ozark digitally.
Cool.
Quick.
Yeah. I also find fascinating. Just
so
that,
what
moving money like that.
I'm curious about what charges they're being brought up on.
Because it hasn't been decided yet if they are the hackers.
Yeah.
They had access to the wallet, but it has not been decided if they are the ones who stole it. From what I can see, from what I've read, I have not seen an actual accusation of them being the ones they stole it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So because I'm like, I mean, Bitcoin, I guess, is a big one, but I'm just like, so they stole some digital money. Like what is the crime that they would be committing in that?
Larceny.
Technically, it was the hack against the exchange. The exchange
okay.
was an American exchange, and so it's technically, what is the law for hacking American companies?
Technically, it's technically grand larceny on a digital scale.
I mean, but Bitcoin is not money.
Thievery aside, Bitcoin,
but
it's
it
not
has
money.
value. You can get larceny for the value of things too, right? Like you steal a car, that's larceny, in it, or not?
I mean, yeah.
That's like if somebody stole, not stole, but somebody had, like, for instance, FrostWire and Torrents. People got arrested for that.
People got arrested for that? What kind of?
Yeah,
That's crazy. I mean,
because of the value. I
they
mean,
were taking because they were stealing. They were not well. They were downloading
Yeah.
movies, music, stuff like that, which is a value in a sense.
I mean,
So
I know what FrostWire was used for. I just didn't know.
Not
I didn't personally
you
use
know
it,
how to do it.
but I know
but
what
yeah,
other
this like
people did
people
with it.
like
Selling
people.
them,
of course you did.
selling them
Yeah.
seeds.
Suave doesn't. Suave is an amateur sailor. He just likes to go out on the ocean and just kind of like
Look around.
Yeah,
I do it
you
often.
He don't
Stare at the
he doesn't-
horizon.
Yeah, he doesn't participate in any other activity other than the sailing. There's no.
There you go.
Yeah, I have seen him
Yeah,
go on
but
an eye patch, but that's just a fashion choice. Like he doesn't. He doesn't. He definitely doesn't raise a black flag
Nah.
and all that. other
Sometimes
stuff.
my eyes get dry. That's all.
Yeah,
it is.
I know. Yeah, you just gotta. Yeah, I get it.
Sometimes his finger actually hits the download button, but that was by accident. He tripped.
Completely by accident.
Accident.
Just
And
like
who
just like-
hasn't accidentally downloaded someone else's content?
all the time.
Which
Exactly.
one among you hasn't done it?
it's just like when you accidentally,
That's the
when
first stone.
your significant other tells you, go take out trash something, and you start it, or accidentally the controller falls into your hands, and you just fall onto your headset. PlayStation just
Exactly.
turns on.
That's his unlucky pirate lore is what that is. It just falls right into it.
It sounds like unlucky physics.
Exactly.
You can't help it.
Maurice
But
said
have
wire
you-
fraud.
Yeah.
What? So how is it that more motherfuckers aren't being investigated and in prison? It's not like you don't know where the money went. Like you
Yeah,
can.
that's the thing I don't get.
I don't understand.
Perfect,
I'm
perfect
not
trail
sure
for the
how the
money.
money's floating.
They could have
Um,
mixed it too. They could have used mixers as well.
But
They
you
can. But it's
all on the
with
blockchain.
crypto, it's all on the blockchain, man.
Like,
It's all on the
some-
blockchain, but the
the
problem is
benefits-
people are not aware of certain mixers that people use or the algorithm that they use. So they have to so even if you trace it on whatever software you're using, you could trace it to the wrong person. And yeah, because if
Oh,
you
top,
because a
hold on,
mixer
wait.
all a mixer is basically obfuscating transactions inside the blockchain instead of you doing, like, for instance, if me and Tech are doing a transaction, instead of me giving him 100 Bitcoin through the transaction, I can easily mix it and give off 5 Bitcoin to Tech, 5 Bitcoin to somebody else, 5 Bitcoin to somewhere else, and keep laundering it till it gets to Tech. So it can
Trickles
go
down
to
to Tech.
multiple people. Yeah, so it can go to multiple people
It's
before it
to
even hits
multiple
Tech.
nodes.
Yes.
It's like in all the spy movies when they're like, "Oh man, they're bouncing their signal all the way around the world. I can't trace it."
So
Right.
instead of me going straight to Tech, I bounce it to AJ. AJ gets a cut from that. He sends it to Swag. Swag gets a cut from that.
Okay.
Sends it
It's not
to
easily done, like
yeah.
Maurice said.
So it's I mean that's one way could have done it. I don't know if they did it, but it's a possible way for them to technically launder as well. So they can, instead of going through one person, they go to the different businesses and launder that way too as well. So it's different ways they could have done it, but I don't think, like Tech said, they found exactly who actually made the hack. Correct, if I'm correct, Tech, right?
Yeah, who stole the money that the wallet was in. I mean, that was in the wallet. They just had access to that wallet, and it's not clear.
One of my biggest issues I have is and it's just not just this case alone. But just the whole federal government as a whole, like the FBI especially, because they've been very focused in crypto crimes and things like that. But they are sitting on possibly billions of just crypto coins, cold wallets, access to other wallets that they've seized from investigations or just arresting people. And I've always been curious kind of where these funds can they be used, can they be touched? I'm not sure of the legality of it all.
Yeah.
But in this situation are also the people who got their crypto stolen in 2014 when the hack originally happened. will they get their money back? Like, I mean, the wallets are there. They are visible. You can see kind of who got the money taken from the wallets easily.
Yeah. Do you need
And
to
the
actually
amount taken.
have the money in order to? You don't need to have the money in order to track where it went and stuff. Like you can return the money and still do your investigation on the blockchain.
Exactly.
It does seem weird to be like, no, we're gonna hold on to this so we figure out what happened.
Exactly.
To
And
it.
that's
It's like
exactly what they do. They
So,
hold
like,
on to all of that.
so
that
my
makes
question
sense
is,
with
does it?
dollar bills because
Yes.
because they're physical dollar bills. But like when you can track and trace this thing without access to the actual money, just why not give it back? Unless they're like, we don't know who it really belongs to, and that's their reason for holding it. It's like
They're a bunch of
Anytime
liars.
money is stolen, don't they give it to? Don't they have to go through forfeiture and treasury to get their amount
If
back?
I think that's only if they don't know who it belongs to.
Or what? I mean,
Like, okay, so like
well,
if
I think it's
let's say there was like a rogue CEO that embezzled, which is different from larceny. Yeah, apparently that's important. They embezzled $100 million from their Fortune 500 company. He's discovered. They know where the money is. I'm pretty confident that those funds are going to be returned back to the corporation.
right.
So the thought there, I'm assuming, is if they know where it's supposed to be, they should return it. But I don't know what the
I don't
law
think
is.
that's the
They
process
hold it.
for them getting it back straight to the company. I think they have to go through. Don't they go through
But
because
why?
once the money's confiscated, don't it goes to forfeiture and treasury get and displays that, then disperses that money back to whoever company it is.
I don't know, but I don't know why you have to do all that rigmarole.
Well, I mean, I don't know. There's a
I
process
mean,
for
you know
everything.
better
I'm
than
just
us.
curious.
I mean,
Yeah,
yes.
I don't.
Nevertheless,
you're abusing people every day.
JK's career
At the feds.
aside, but yeah, that is something like I know for a fact, like there's this hacker case that happened a while back. The guy had at the time $400,000 worth of Bitcoin, and that was in 2000 and I want to say 12. He had $400,000 worth of Bitcoin.
oh wow, so that's like
That's early stages, ain't it?
billions
That's
of
early
dollars now.
stages. That's billions of dollars now.
Yeah.
And so, and that was seized by the FBI. And I do know, and I gotta find it. I know it's in one of my Obsidian notes. That that I think they used that, or because of the fact that they took it from him, they gave it to the treasury or something like that for it to be used because it was all illegally gained, and they could not. It was through like drug trafficking and stuff like that that the guy got the money.
Yeah,
So
because
they
every time it's deal with drugs or anything, it goes to forfeiture, right? If it's illegal,
yes,
like if it's
illegally gained,
illegally,
it goes
yeah.
And
Have you guys seen
the government uses that money?
Have you guys heard of Wall Street Trapper?
Yeah, I follow that guy.
Do you remember the story how he got into stocks and all this stuff?
Vaguely.
He met somebody of a Caucasian hue in prison and pretty much tell him, you're playing the wrong game. This man embezzled I think it was a couple million, probably like 5 or so million. And he's doing time. He pays like a fee. I forgot what the name of the fee was. Like, but he paid like $800K, and he gets to keep the rest. So,
what kind of
again,
shit is
that might be the detail between embezzlement and larceny and all these other terms. I don't know, but the guy, it's like, okay, it's worth to the guy. It was worth it all day, every day, because he stole all this money. He pays a fee. He paid his debt to society, so to speak, and he gets to keep millions of dollars.
Bruh.
So
is that because they couldn't figure out like where all that money came from, like eventually, or
that's unclear. So if they can't, I'm guessing that. So if they can't figure it out, it's like, okay, well, we can't just keep you in prison forever. You still have to get out. And okay, you get out, and I guess you get to keep it, like double jeopardy. It's not like they could charge him again. I'm like, okay, we found the money, so you got to go back to jail now.
Good point.
He paid his debt to society, and that money will be free and clear once he gets out. So again, I don't know if it's because it's embezzlement versus larceny. I don't know if it's because you just got to be vanilla. I don't know what the deal is, but it doesn't seem like in any event like they should be keeping it. If they know where the money is, they should be giving that money up. Now it could be like they don't, like if the FBI sees the money, right? Maybe they don't have the infrastructure to properly transfer the funds. Like if they secured like actual cash currency, and they're like, okay, yeah, we can't just the leading agent on the thing can't just be like, okay, here's a suitcase full of money. So maybe because of that, it's like, okay, yeah, you got to put it through the proper channels, give it to some other agency, and maybe they cut you a check. I don't know, but they shouldn't be holding on to it, and they shouldn't be holding up the process just because that just seems wrong.
Agreed. Well, we'll see. Maurice was saying in the chat that there was like almost 1 million bitcoins that went missing, that were likely stolen, that were worth 450 million at the time, and so they only owed people back the 450 million worth, not the like
Nah,
amount of
dude, come
bitcoins.
on, baby. Like, so if they steal a Monet from you, was $1 million at the time, now it's worth 50 mil. They're just gonna cut you a $50 million check. Is that what I'm hearing?
That's what they did to
Or
them.
$1 million? But I'm saying, is that really okay, or they're just doing that because
it
it's
wasn't
crypto?
an NFT though. It wasn't an NFT. If it was an NFT, then you got a different thing because they have to return you your NFT. But this is cryptocurrency, which is basically like they stole stock from you, right?
It's not less stock. That's not how the IRS.
That's not how they see it. I'm saying, but that's kind of how cryptocurrency grows and shrinks. It's like very volatile stock, right? So it's like
it doesn't matter how it behaves. It's like what the government says it is. The government up to now says that it's property. It's not stock. It's not currency. It's property.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to return the property, not cash value.
I see what you're saying. I mean,
that's crazy. Like they just want to break the rules because it's crypto. Like they're obviously doing everything they can to discourage this whole crypto thing, but like you can't just straight up. Well, you shouldn't be able to just straight up break the rules, break the law, because
what I would say is like, are they treating it like property? Like, I mean, you pay taxes on your house, you pay taxes on a lot, but like if they're taxing the amount, you know what I'm saying, the amount of, like, they don't tax you in Bitcoin, they don't tax you in Ethereum, they tax you on the value of the crypto. So I hear what you're saying, but I also think they have a little bit of a precedent in treating it as like as money. And if you had a Monet that was worth 50 million, that thing would be insured, and they can't, like,
but they can't,
I mean, insurance's job is to dick you out of the money, but
they can't charge you taxes on a Monet.
I
So
mean, yeah,
it's either property or it's not, is what I'm saying. So like if they say it's property, you can't charge me taxes on it. You can't say it's worth this, because like even a Monet, you can't say, okay, well, the Monet is worth 50 million. Says who? Like, yes, maybe you could sell it for $1 million. Maybe somebody's willing to pay 100 million. Maybe somebody's only willing to pay $5.
True.
They can't make that determination. It's either that they return the thing, or there has to be some kind of negotiation to determine cash value if the person wants cash value instead of the thing. But you can't just take it and be like, okay, I'm giving you this instead of what you actually lost. That doesn't.
I don't know if you get to choose. I think if it's property and it's recoverable, you get the property back. I think crypto has been, at least the mainstream stuff like Ethereum, Bitcoin, or not even the mainstream, but like every token you spend your money on that like can appreciate in value or whatever, you get taxed on that shit. Like when you mine, you get taxed. When your shit appreciates, you get taxed.
How do you get taxed when you mine?
Hey, listen, Carl, I don't know. That's a great question.
Did
I'm gonna
they
have to
actually
find out
tax you?
soon. I'm gonna have to find out real soon, but I don't know.
I think you just get taxed for owning it. Like I don't think I don't think they're like, hey, you're mining, so you got to pay a miner's tax, right? Isn't it just the fact that you have crypto?
I don't
Like
know
the
how
No,
you. It doesn't make sense to me that you could get taxed at all. That's what I
it
don't
doesn't make
understand.
sense to me either.
definitely tax you on it, and they definitely treat it. You definitely get taxed on the value of it. You don't get. It's not like stock where like you don't get taxed until you cash out or whatever. Like
Nah,
That doesn't make
they want
any
that money
sense.
right then, or that's the amount you're
Immediately.
supposed to pay.
That doesn't make any
Immediately.
sense.
Nah,
Like
Maurice,
I
you also
don't
get taxed
get
on
it.
mining. Like
yeah,
Yep,
when I
you get
was
taxed on
reading
mining
the shit,
too.
they were like, when you get the token, that's when you pay taxes.
yeah. That's what I was reading too. Is it like you get taxed on the value of what you got
Yeah,
in there? Like, but like any stock you own, you're not going to get taxed on it. Like until you
till
decide, hey,
later.
I want my money, and then they're like, well, we also want our money, and then they,
Yeah.
you guys just split it up. But crypto, they're
Yeah.
like, we don't know how to handle this, so we're just going to take our money right now. Like, I think that's really what the crypto thing is. Like, it happened, and they're like, whoa, people are actually doing this, and a lot of money is being transferred through here, and we need to get our cut. And it's impossible to like if you call it property, right? Then people can just literally trade in crypto and not pay taxes on it, or just pay property taxes, which they wouldn't know what to do because it's constantly growing,
Facts.
right? So
You don't pay property tax to the federal government.
no, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it has to be in the county that you live in, but crypto's county is the internet, which is everywhere. So
Everywhere.
like, you would pay property tax to the government because you would be using the infrastructure of the entire country to own your crypto.
No,
Air quotes.
no,
I
not at
mean,
all.
We'll circle back.
Not
We'll
at
circle
all.
back.
Internet, not come back.
Like
Point is, when it
Taxes
comes
are
to
too
crypto,
damn complicated.
exactly.
that is the point.
That is the point.
They never teach you in high
Definitely.
school.
They do
I'm
that
gonna
on
tell
they're
you
purpose.
what.
stealing.
So
They're
that
stealing.
people.
Somebody needs to
They're
sue the mess out of them. This is Steve.
But
Can't
again,
call it property and tax it. Don't make any sense. This is bullcrap.
their goal for high school is never to make us smart enough to be able to care about
No,
taxes.
to
It was
educate
to
a
make
labor
us
force.
employees. Exactly.
Exactly.
And our taxes are taken care of by said employer that hires us for the most part.
Don't you guys wear your pretty little
Nah,
heads?
that's also
Just-
not true.
Yes.
Them big companies are paying very little in taxes. We're
Oh.
paying for our own enslavement. We pay most of that. Individuals do, not corporations.
You're right.
Absolutely. Of like cloud gaming. So Stadia has like the whole department has been demoted. They're not part of the hardware team anymore. They're under like services or whatever. And so they are basically offering like white label streaming to other companies. Like they got a thing going with AT&T. There's a rumor that they have a thing with Peloton. Peloton didn't comment on this particular article. So maybe that's still in the works. I don't know. They did just have
It
yeah, they got
lasted
a lot of
longer
shit
than I
going
thought.
on. They
Well, I feel bad.
Peloton's trying to stay afloat.
People keep killing Peloton people in TV shows. Like I don't understand why they're like there's multiple people dying of heart attacks in the TV shows, not in real life.
Oh, yo,
Peloton's
you're right.
like, why are you killing all these folks on our like y'all want the advertisement and then you murder a person on it. Like
Yeah, that happens.
I mean, like Law and Order, the guy gets murdered by an iPhone. Like every time you turn on Law and Order, somebody's getting killed with an iPhone.
Just
That would be hilarious. Oh my god.
nah.
So
Apple would call them and be like, "Yo, stop it now.
cut that shit the fuck out.
Cut that shit the fuck out."
Poor Peloton. But yeah,
Um,
continue.
do y'all feel like Stadia would have had a real chance, like as a platform, if Google didn't do what Google does?
If Google didn't do it,
They
yeah,
should have
if somebody
did.
else did it.
Yeah,
It-
they should have went with the Game Pass approach. You pay one subscription, you get access to a whole library.
dude,
They would have.
if they had done that and then delivered on the features, I really just wanted click and be in a game. I wanted to be able to see a YouTube clip or somebody live streaming on YouTube or YouTube gaming. Like, oh, he dropped a link and I could hop in the game with dude and play along or whatever. They promised that, and that never freaking came. Like, that's what I wanted.
Yo, so like imagine, right? So Nintendo had a direct yesterday. Imagine Stadia having a similar type event and they could say, like you were saying, Carl, like, you watching a video and you can have like a little link pop up that says play now and literally boom, right into the game. You're playing a demo, you're playing early build, whatever. But the fact is that you can just pop right into that giant and then still have in the left hand screen like a picture in picture of the rest of the event that's going on. Like that shit, yeah, like that shit
That
would have
would
been
be
tight.
ridiculous.
That
And
shit would
then
have been tight.
and then if I could like hit another button to launch it on the console if I want it. Like, okay, I'm playing now, and then hit a button and do transfer to, this is
Chromecast.
Stadia, so transfer to Comcast or
Transfer
some
to
other
Chromebook.
device that has a Chrome browser on it, right?
Right.
Which, by the way, Xbox does.
It does,
The,
yep.
the new Edge has
L-
Chromium, so
Chromium.
Chromium, yep.
like if they had just delivered like just that one feature, which is a hard feature, I'm sure. But if they had delivered that one, that's what hooked me anyway. I'm like, I'm getting this because that's just incredible. I could just hop into a game and it deep links. It doesn't just launch the game. They said it was going to deep link into the board. If somebody invited you, you'd be in the party with them, all that whole thing. I'm like, what?
Yeah, that would have
Oh
been
yeah.
smooth.
Very sexy.
But
Yeesh.
yeah, didn't go down that way.
Nah.
No.
It didn't really go
It
down.
did
Is the
not.
problem.
At all, yeah.
It
Like
went
they
down
didn't have
alright.
no time. They gave that thing no time.
That's the
Carl,
thing.
Carl
I
got
don't think
his
they had the
Stadia.
vision.
I
No, they had
pre-ordered.
the vision. They have no follow through. That's Google. That's Google to a
Exactly.
T though. The only thing they follow through on is the stuff they're doing, the stuff they've always been doing. Like their phones, they don't really follow through. They just started trying to do Android phones right because they realized that these other manufacturers are not going to make Android a better operating system. They're gonna take Android and use it for whatever they want to use it for, and not
Facts.
improve the overall architecture. Which is why people look at Androids, and say they're trash. It's like, no, this brand of Android is trash. It's not every Android, but they're just painting with a broad brush now because Google didn't build a product on Android that was so good it could compete with other whatever. That's why the Pixels started. That's why they started actually putting money into the Pixels. But to be honest, even there they're falling short because I feel like it's still a secondary or tertiary kind of like let's do this to make sure we stay in this market. Like they do stuff all the time.
Yeah.
They're in every market, but it's like your 20%
Half-assed.
time.
Yeah.
Every engineer's
Yeah.
20% time is going to one of those projects that was, instead of the actual like having a real team, it's just a bunch of people who have real jobs, and then they leave their real job to give that extra, the 2 hours of their day to Stadia.
Now, I
So
think
Maurice
on
asked a good question. Oh, go ahead, Carl.
I was just gonna say, I think on one of their earnings report, they said they were gonna drop like 100 or a couple hundred million on marketing for the Pixel. So that's the first time they've ever made such a strong commitment. But that don't mean they'll do it next year. So we'll see if they maintain with Pixel.
They came out like the Stadia, they came out with that like energy, like, yeah, we're here to stay. This is different. This is not like any of our other projects. And they had us fooled for a second. And then as time went on, I just started seeing that, oh yeah, they're really not in this shit. Like they say they are. They're trying to get us to get on board. And then you realize like shit, you paying the games on Stadia were so much more expensive than anywhere else.
My
And they were
gosh.
old games too. So
Well, the problem was there were a million different prices for the same game. Like there's all these different editions,
yeah.
and then of course, they would advertise to you the version that's $100. Because I was like, oh, I got it. They gave you like a game or two. I think you got like Destiny 2 and like was it Samurai Showdown or whatever it was called, something like that.
Fighting
I'm like,
games.
yeah. I'm like, look, let me check this out. Maybe I get another game in here. And then I was like, 170, and then I had to scroll all the way down to see for 60. I'm like, this is not the experience I had in mind, guys.
But even 60 is a lot.
It
Yeah.
is
Like
a
a
lot.
lot of these games were already deeply discounted on other platforms. So they made it less enticing to get it. I mean, what's
And there's no community there, right? So a lot of
exactly,
the games you
especially
want to play, with other people. There's nobody there, so you got to have some kind of incentive.
So you're saying it's the
exactly.
Google Plus of cloud gaming?
Google Plus lasted way longer, and they tried way harder
They did
than
try
the
on
Stadia.
Google Plus.
Yeah.
I was a believer in Google Plus for a minute too.
Me too.
Yep.
I really enjoyed it.
I like the auto tag and the auto hashtag. I'm like, what?
Mm-hmm.
That's nice.
The little circles. But yeah, I feel like all they had to do is make a pivot in the business model. I think it would have been you would have got your, some folks that are like the tech crowd that's kind of gamers that probably were gamers but not gamers anymore. And then looked at this as like, oh yeah, shit. Well, I don't need to get a PS5. I can just get this shit and I'll be good. But they didn't give it enough time. I mean, when did they debut
But
this thing? Like
you
2019?
got to get the deals done though. Like before, you don't have to get any deals. Like if you're just another store, you're gonna sell games. But if you're like, okay, we got to work out a deal here. What's a profit sharing gonna look like to create a Game Pass type of thing?
Yeah.
And I don't think they had enough clout to pull that off. Or people are gonna be like, yeah, we're not gonna give you the same favorable split like Microsoft. Like Microsoft has
A
20 some odd
proven
million
install.
Game Pass subscribers already.
Exactly.
They got pulled. They have an audience. You have nothing. Like so they probably try to drive a hard bargain
Like,
with nothing to show for it. And
Or
then
Google.
And no
or
leverage.
Google.
exactly. And they're just like, nah, we'll just walk away.
They
We
came into
gotta
the space with the wrong
stretch out.
energy.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And they have to be kicking themselves for seeing how successful Game Pass is when they had the opportunity to
They
knock that
could
out
have
the
done
park
it.
They had
first.
the
They
idea.
could have. They could
They
have.
had the idea.
Yeah.
And so
coulda-
it really is. Yeah.
I'm pissed about it because another player would have applied a lot of pressure if they had some sort of measurable success. It would have kept the prices on these games down. PlayStation probably wouldn't have been so confident to go up to $70. Like, the level of innovation would have to go up. Gaikai would have to hurry up and become whatever it's going to become. Was that xCloud? They would probably have to move up the timeline on that. Like, it would have put good pressure on everybody if they had succeeded.
Yeah.
And
And that's honestly
freaking failed.
that's what Microsoft was worried about. They were worried about Google. They're not worried about Sony. They're not even I mean, they're worried about them in the traditional sense, but in looking ahead, long term, the players that they were really looking at was Amazon and Google. Them getting into the gaming space, especially the cloud space. So
Yeah.
And then the Mixer thing, you saw how Microsoft hurried up, and I thought it was like a rush thing to like buy Mixer and do that whole thing. I think they did that
I thought
because they
all
saw
of Mixer
Google
was
had
wrong.
YouTube and YouTube
Yep.
gaming, and they're like, okay, we gotta.
And didn't
and
Amazon
then
buy Twitch
Amazon has
around that
Twitch.
time?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they
So
felt
they're
the
like,
pressure.
yeah, exactly. They're like, no, we better have videos of people playing games somewhere on something.
But once they saw like Ninja and a bunch of like a whole bunch of different gamers making
couldn't throw
a
the
whole
money
bunch of
at it.
money, they were like, maybe we should jump on this bandwagon too. But it was kind of too late.
Yeah.
And so Mixer, and that's why like a lot of people from Mixer, they migrated back over to Twitch. And like so like if you go like when Mixer shut down, you saw a lot of people like, oh hey, coming out from Mixer, just started my Twitch channel. They kind of had to rebuild their following a little bit. But some of them,
Ninja didn't have to do too much, bro.
oh no,
Nope.
Ninja had to do
He
nothing.
made it out like a
He
fat
just slid
rat.
it in. He just
But the
slid
funny
in.
thing was, a lot of people who did go to Mixer after Ninja signed and tried to come back, their domains were gone and were bought by little kids or bought by somebody else, and so they had to make a whole new domain for their stuff. So I find that interesting.
Mm.
So
Because
It's just a
remember,
missed opportunity. I'm pissed about it.
I
I bought in.
I think that they're obviously not concerned with gaming. They're making time crystals and quantum computers. They absolutely do not care about gaming, which is like I
Right.
said, this is somebody's 20% time. I can almost guarantee you the Stadia, like when they're like, oh, the Stadia team, we're taking them down, that's from the Stadia project. Their other jobs are probably pretty safe. Like this is not something they were really focused on. They just do everything. They do everything. That's what they do. That's the company motto. They do everything.
Creating profit revenue to
Yeah,
fund those
yeah.
projects.
They're like if Amazon cared about like doing things for the sake of like seeing what happens. Like they're like if Amazon was like curious instead of just money hungry. Like Amazon's money hungry. They're gonna do what makes money. Google's gonna do
Every
what
time.
like kind of like gives them a little bit of like, oh, wouldn't that be awesome? Like the whole Magic Leap or whatever, right? Like they're like, oh, that would just be awesome, right? So let's work on it. And so they put out a bunch of videos, get everybody excited. But like most people who are like that, who have these big grand ideas, they often don't have the trust.
1 billion
Like,
market cross.
If Amazon's drive was inserted into Google's imagination, you would have the greatest company of all time. But the problem is these two companies are like, it's like the id and the super ego or something. Like it's like Amazon is just concerned about success and Google's just like, hey man, let's see what we can do. And like I said, time crystals, Stadia. Like time crystals is amazing. Nobody else is doing that. But Stadia, lots of people are doing better than that.
There's a couple quantum computing companies. One of them just went public recently.
Yeah, but Google doesn't like they've been in the game for so long. Like you're hearing about new quantum computing companies, and I'm sure most of those people worked for like a company like Google before they branched off to start their own quantum computing company.
Google's not really focused on like the hardware so much. Like they have hardware, so they have a couple D waves, right? And I think
that's the company that just went public.
Yeah, so they have a couple D waves, but I think they have that. They might be doing some hardware stuff on their own, but their main thing is okay, now that we have this, how do we craft these algorithms? Right? So like you got to redo everything from scratch. You got to redo error correction. How does error correction work? How does a quantum register work? Like you got to do all the computer science all over again from scratch. That's what they're focused on, and then they only do the hardware stuff as needed. Like I don't think they're locked in on like quantum hardware. Maybe down the road once they lock it down, and then you get some quantum computing on GCP, but that's about it. They want those algorithms.
Do y'all think would Sony have any reason to partner with Google instead of like Microsoft for like a PlayStation cloud service? Also, real quick, Maurice is pointing out that cloud gaming ain't shit and mobile gaming is where it's at, and so Google ain't missing nothing. But
except for everything.
Except for everything, right?
I mean, cloud gaming will enable mobile gaming to step up the pace. Shit.
you're gonna be playing AAA games on mobile in a few years, like,
Facts.
and it not suck. Like
Yeah, and
right
not
now,
be
you try to play
horseshit.
Halo, it will work. The frame rate isn't too bad, but the latency is ridiculous. It's not really playable.
Ridiculous.
But like in 5 years or whatever it is, it'd probably be
Listen,
straight.
life will be complete once I can play WoW on my Xbox.
Please don't say that.
Stop that. Stop it, man.
It's gonna happen.
I'll bring that up.
And you guys can
It,
all,
it, it
know,
will
play.
happen, but who cares? No one.
Oh wow.
What he said.
So,
But-
isn't the crux of the story is that Carl is going to go to change.org and write a petition to sue Stadia. That's what we've discovered, right?
That's exactly what's happening.
I spent $100. How much was it? I spent like $100 pre-ordering, just
man.
knowing they're gonna crush it.
Sounds like you have a class action suit, if you ask me. You just need a couple more signatures. That's all I heard.
Dude, if I could get $1,000 out of it, done.
I know change.org is going to get $1,000 out of it.
Yeah, true. Advertisement. But I think Sony, I want to say, kind of close to the end of last generation, Sony actually partnered with Microsoft to provide the basically, I think Sony has stuff on Azure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, either
it wouldn't
way,
make much sense for them to switch after they've paid Microsoft.
And would you want Google, who just gives up on everything, to be your provider for anything? Like,
they're not giving up on cloud. Like that's
no,
not
but like I just, their track record looks terrible, and you see other people doing it better.
That's kind of separate. Like that's like worrying about Google quitting on ads. That's never gonna happen. Like they're going to have their own servers, and they're going to continue to sell cloud products to a bunch of people.
Yeah, that's not.
They're having a hard time expanding for some reason. Like they just can't get market share from Microsoft and Amazon for some reason. Because like the developer experience that I've had with GCP is certainly better than Azure, but probably better than AWS as well. But nobody wants, like, they don't have as many services as AWS, that's for sure. Like AWS has everything and then some, but like using it, I'd rather use Google.
Oh yeah, AWS looks terrible.
Yeah.
But I think that's how you sell certifications. You make your stuff unusable. And then you teach people how to use it.
That's definitely
for the low price of a lot.
Yep.
So, but like they just can't figure that out. But they're not going to give up on that. That's too much bread. That's a lot of money.
Okay.
But it don't make any sense because I think Microsoft has more data centers than Google, by a lot, that they offer. So it's like, okay, they probably have a bunch in Japan. You got a bunch in North America. Like, what reasons would they have to switch? Unless it's just so much cheaper. Like, I doubt it.
No, that's legit. So what do y'all think? So future of cloud gaming, that's just playing AAA on your phone or your iPad from wherever you at? Or what does that look like?
Probably
TVs. It's gonna be built into TVs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because being able to take them with you, take your game with you, you just AirPlay or screen share to your TV.
You're gonna have Neuralink in your head, and you're gonna play the game with your eyeballs.
Oh no,
that's what's gonna happen.
It's absolutely terrifying, but probably a likely outcome.
Like, just people, somebody zones out, it's because they're playing Halo. Like they're just like they're talking to you.
Like, sorry, I just put up a quick game.
Can you
like somebody's like, bro, you playing Halo right now? Really? While I'm talking to you? Like right here in mid conversation.
So many people.
All of our marriages would be over. Just
I know, exactly.
Over.
I mean, I can just see myself
No
now,
comment.
just like,
No comment.
and she'll just be like, "What the fuck are you doing right now?" I'm just like, "Oh, I'm paying attention to this conversation."
No,
Obviously, you're not.
that's your Halo look, Tech. She knows.
That's right.
I know your Halo look.
You listening? So why you got Halo face?
Why you got Halo face? You playing Halo in your mind, aren't you?
Oh my
Absolutely.
God.
You don't know that. I could be thinking of a gift for you for next week.
No. Yeah. It's
One-
a Halo skin for the next Battle Pass season.
Valentine
Yes.
Halo.
We
What
can
you
match.
wanted?
Exactly.
But I keep forgetting that Sony just makes TVs. So
Yep.
whenever they get their Spartacus or PS Now, once they get that shit in order, I mean, you could basically just have all that shit on the TV, and stream it.
Yep.
That would be pretty tight. I'm not gonna lie.
But
Yeah.
then what are they gonna do with all those PlayStations? They gonna stop making PlayStation and just make these integrated TVs?
I mean, PlayStation will still be there, but
Yeah.
you
Sony
just
TV's
got
not cheap,
options
man.
now.
They are not.
But
You
you
can
know
buy a
what?
PlayStation and a TCL TV for less than a, 65
But
inch
they don't
Sony.
have 4K 120. They need to get their life together.
They don't? I want to
Okay,
say
so they do, but they don't have it where you could do 4K 120 and
HDR.
Dolby Vision at the
Okay.
same time.
I got you. Maurice said
We
no
need to
consoles
check
in the
all the
future. What's wrong with TCL? They make good TVs, Maurice.
But where are they from, Suave? That's the question. Where are
The
they from?
Taiwan?
Like, no. You wish they were Taiwan.
You wish-
You
trust
might
them a
Where
little
they
more if
from?
they're from.
can trust them.
You trust them a little more from Taiwan than you would from.
Where they from?
TCL? Oh yeah, they're from the People's Republic.
Yeah.
People's Republic.
My son is
sounding xenophobic.
Wow.
all
Look,
the
I'm cautious of the People's Republic. That's all.
I don't blame you on that.
Oh shit.
I'm just a
Somebody was
little
hacking your
cautious.
screen for a minute.
For
Carl.
real?
I'm saying,
He said the wrong thing.
He didn't mean it, y'all.
All messed up.
Look, I didn't put the final letter in there. They don't know what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
They're out here assuming hacking my stuff. Get out of here, man.
Don't be
So what do
afraid,
y'all?
Carl. They
Yes.
bunch of bitches over there.
Oh,
They
wow.
can't hack shit.
Once again,
Take
all of his
that up with
opinions
that,
are
nigga.
his own. They're always his own. Hack him. And specifically
Please.
him. I think his family doesn't deserve any pain. Just him. Just ruin his life. Isolate it and then ruin it by himself.
Him and him alone.
Absolutely.
What about like stuff like Shadow or like like some people have like will spin up like Windows instances on like EC2 and shit. Like, do y'all think that shit is gonna be just dead in a couple years? And Shadow is still around. I checked. They're still provisioning. They're offering 4K 60 1080p 144 for $30 a month. This nigga said that's nerd stuff. Look at where you are, sir. This is what the podcast is about.
Dude, I think that'll be around because, like, I have a hope and dream to like have a company that operates in Jamaica and other developing nations, and like if you have a startup, the last thing you want to do is spend like 2 stacks times the amount of employees you have, giving them, giving developers good hardware. What you'd much rather do, if you're gonna go down that, Lord forbid, Windows route, you get like a bunch of Windows 10. What is it? Windows 360? Is that what it calls? Windows
Microsoft 365?
No, it's
Office.
not. It's like that, but
but it's different. What the fuck?
Like you actually get Windows, and Windows is streaming you, and
Google
they
this
give
shit.
you like multi-gigabit internet connection. So obviously your connection is whatever it is, but if you download something on this virtual Windows, it'll download at multiple gigabit speeds, right? I don't know how much they charge for that, but you could connect to it from a mobile device. So
That's kind of tight.
I see like that's kind of the future. Just like how some companies use VDIs, which are the devil, but this is like high performance to where like okay, the VDIs always got pixelated, they always got slow because they shared RAM as well. But this would stay fast. You could be like, okay, yeah, I got my startup of 10 people, provision these 10 computers. They could dev on it, on their iPad with this thing, and somebody gets fired, gone. You save that money. So with stuff like Starlink and cloud streaming of whether it's gaming or compute, I absolutely think that's the future. If for not individuals, certainly for businesses. Uh, it just makes it easier than managing hardware.
Yeah, especially in this day and age.
Yeah,
Like,
people
it's
working
this
remote, like
yeah,
just click this link in the browser, and
exactly.
that's your dev environment. Yeah,
Yep,
Yeah, chip shortages all around here. Yeah, ain't nobody
yep.
trying to.
That's for some people who can't work remote.
I mean,
I mean, JK.
you don't have to stay in that situation. I'm just saying, you've been told.
You literally could find a new situation tomorrow.
You're in a major city in the United States. Yeah, no excuse.
That's highly.
You're in the DMV. I mean, hiring like you can walk outside and get hit with a recruiter.
Basically.
Absolutely.
Turn on
So,
open to
no
work on
excuse.
your LinkedIn. They're gonna be beating your door down.
They gonna be beating your door down. You ain't never feel
Shit,
more
my
wanted
shit
in
ain't
your
even
life.
on open to work, and the motherfuckers
Facts. Still there.
Absolutely.
be thirsty.
Facts.
They're like, you aren't open to work because you haven't heard my opportunity.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Persistence.
Yeah. You don't know you're open to work.
And you already
Hey,
got your
listen,
security clearance, right?
Exactly. We just wanted to reach out to see
JK?
kind of how things were going.
Yep.
Are you happy with what you're doing
So
right now?
you got
Works of getting
multiple.
that redone.
So let's
Oh,
do
yeah,
the
yeah.
rundown real quick. An advanced degree, multiple years of experience with the feds,
An alphabet.
and a security clearance.
Mm-hmm.
What
I gotta
what
wait.
am I
I
missing
still
here?
gotta wait because I'm in the middle of my security clearance.
You still gotta wait. Yeah, you gotta wait. Sure.
Rip. Rip.
Keep
Pain right
waiting.
there. Keep waiting.
Excuses.
Jeez.
Are you a
yeah, man.
govy? I'm a software developer. What are you talking about?
There you
You're a
go.
Fed.
Yeah,
There
that
you
answered
go.
the question.
Answer the
Anything else
question,
on future cloud gaming, Stadia, Google turning Stadia into just a fucking streaming service they offer as part of
Streaming
GCP?
platform.
I just don't want them to be coming out with all these different services and me have to pay for all these services. Like
You don't have to
pay for
do it.
anything.
You don't have to.
that's
Just
true.
like you don't
Very
have
true.
to find another job. You do
Oh my
not.
god! You know what?
Stop
Why you
spending
bringing shit?
spending money on Battlefield.
Stop.
I
Hey,
I
why you
hope
bring shit
even
back to that too, Kristen? Like,
Wow.
God damn.
Wow.
I think
Wow.
that you kind of deserve this, JK, because you be going hard on people like Tech and me, and it's nice to
Today,
it's nice to see people, return the
well,
favor.
you know what?
It's
You're
like
right.
some karma.
You're right.
It's like it's
Come on.
real that it does
Okay,
come back
Batman.
around.
You're right. I haven't.
Yeah, you have it.
You're absolutely right. And
Yeah.
I made the mistake of letting off the gas. So
See, look. So hurt people. You going right back to it?
hurt people.
Yeah, 100%. It's
Spinning that
100%.
comic wheel again, just one more time around. That's what you're saying.
You're gonna be bonds over bad dad in this bitch. You feel me?
Wow.
Like, come on now.
Let's
even though Stadia is pretty much dead and there's no competition anymore, hopefully Microsoft will take up the banner and give me deep linking into games. I want to be able to click a link and be.
You're gonna have to use Edge.
I'll
I mean,
do
Edge
it.
is Chromium based
plan.
now.
Look, I use Edge at work because I don't want Google in my business too much. So I'm cutting down my Chrome usage and switching to Edge. I'm already doing it, Microsoft. Get me in
coming.
there. I
Phil
want deep
Spencer said it's coming. Just for
Probably
you.
Firefox, Carl.
What's up?
Surprised you don't use Firefox.
Who the hell has
what?
time for that?
Firefox isn't it dead? Didn't they end it this
They're not dead, but
like last week? Like
they
we're
get
no longer
features.
supporting this?
They get features
Firefox got
6
shot.
months to a year after everybody. I don't have time for that. I need my new features.
Real fast, real quick. And now I can kick it off. I'm still watching Crazy Ex Girlfriend. I can't stop. Like the joint is so wacky with the way the story goes and like the shit they decide the characters should do, but like also like they just like casually drop cutting social commentary and it brings me back. I'm
Brings you
still
back to what?
on that train. To being like, all right, I'm still in here. I'm gonna watch this next episode. So that's where I'm at.
I was just confused when you said it brings me back. I'm like, bring me back to
It keeps
Like
bringing
I'm
him
one
back
foot out the
in.
door, yeah, and they be like, nah, hold up, we got a show for you, just for you.
But did you see this though? And then you're like, no, I didn't see that. I'm like,
In fact, I
take a seat.
didn't. Exactly.
I was thrown off by that. My bad.
Good. Finished the Janet Jackson documentary. Oh man, that thing
Man,
was.
what's
Need to watch that.
They talk about
It says
Super Bowl?
Yeah, they talked about it a little bit.
You said it's on Lifetime.
It's what the fuck channel
On
is it? I
Hulu,
watched
ain't
that shit on Hulu. I don't know what channel. No. It's A&E, right? It's an A&E original, some shit. I'm gonna have to check after this. But that thing was great. Like what a story. And she, sound like she retiring. She want to enjoy like her time with her son, and great, love that for her. She want people to forgive Justin Timberlake. But I'm gonna have to politely decline. Fuck that nigga forever.
I don't understand how
he's a
how he
douchebag.
had-
Even
how-
without that,
how I never understood how she got like
vilified for that.
mistreated. Like
Yeah.
Didn't they tell him not to say anything? They like didn't he tell like he was gonna apologize, but they told him don't apologize, don't do shit. And then Janet Jackson apologized, and he just left alone.
Something like that.
So didn't because I remember they explained it. They were talking about on the Morning Hustle, and they were saying Janet Jackson talked to Justin Timberlake before she did the apology or whatever, and she said don't do anything. And he listened. He's like, okay, I don't do anything.
Yeah.
Man, that don't make any sense.
Fuck him anyway.
Well, if you admit that you did something wrong, then you did something wrong. If you don't admit it, it's in a superposition, which means wait for that wave function to collapse.
Mm-hmm.
You just gotta hold it off. It's in a quantum state right now. His apologies are not in a quantum state, so he doesn't have to actually, he can just hold it off, and then on your deathbed be like, yeah, it was my fault. It's my plan the whole time.
I find it fucked up that like because of what happened in that, it caused like to stop like hip hop type halftime shows, and so they
did hip hop this year.
Oh, is it?
Oh yeah, of course.
It's hip hop. It's the hippest of the hop this year. Like
who's there? Who's gonna be there?
It's like Mary J. Blige,
Kendrick,
Snoop, Kendrick, Eminem, yeah,
Dr. Dre.
What?
So everybody's fine with it now that Trump isn't in there. We could all go back.
No, I think it's more about like there keeps being all these black scandals in the NFL, and so they're like, no, we love black people.
I know, right?
And so they're
We
like,
make billions off of them every year.
Right? Exactly. Directly
like,
off their backs.
Let's just throw some more. Murray said Uncle Luke. They're never gonna have.
They're never gonna have Uncle Luke there. They're gonna have motherfuckers shaking booties like it's twerk team and Freaknik came back.
They're not gonna have Uncle Luke ever.
I don't think so.
I mean, I don't even think black people want Uncle Luke at the Super Bowl. I just think that's like one step too far.
Well,
like we like Uncle Luke, but we don't like him like that. We're not rocking with him.
Well, it's just like remember when they had it in Miami, they were like, oh, why don't they have Trick Daddy and Uncle Luke and 69 Boys and Trina? They definitely not doing that.
No, not happening.
Who watches halftime shows anymore anyway? Like halftime is when you start scrolling on your phone and go on YouTube. That's what halftime's for.
That's
When we
it's
started playing
entertaining.
Monopoly.
Yeah,
Oh,
Dang,
We sure
Monopoly,
did.
though?
We sure did last year.
start a
Damn.
conversation or something during halftime. That's when you get deep. That's when the people get to know each other at the Super Bowl party.
Exactly. Right?
I have no plans
oh
to
my god.
watch the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I like
Understandable.
commercials.
I'm
I like
watching it.
commercials.
Maurice is
I'll
hoping
be
for
over
a Last of
Preston,
Us
eat some
trailer.
dip.
My bad, JK. What was that?
Oh, that would be nice.
I'll be over Crescent eating some dip.
True. I started fucking Orient. That shit
Yes,
is weird.
dog.
Weird
That
as
shit
fuck.
is great.
I hope
Great.
it's better because like like when they went behind the door and fucking got them shits eaten, like, bruh. And then the motherfucker transformed and had like it was too many eyes for me. Too many eyes. I'm gonna need them to do something about that.
Yeah,
I'm on
wait.
episode 4, so I may not watch that yet.
No, this was the first. I haven't finished the
Yeah, it was
first
the first
episode.
That's the first episode.
On there
Wasn't-
bugging.
Obviously, wasn't too many eyes for JK because he completely walked right past
He
that.
did. He was like, this is okay.
Yo
I'm
did.
good with this.
It's like,
Second episode was wild.
What? Oh my god.
Second episode was wild.
Now, what you need
Maybe
to spend
Game
your
of
time with,
Thrones. What you mean, Maurice?
he's talking about for the
Suave
Super Bowl
is,
halftime and for the Super Bowl commercials.
Oh, that House of the Dragon shit?
Probably not.
Caught up with Demon Slayer and they are killing me. Somebody in the comments on Verve was posting mad spoilers though. I mean, I'm good with it, but I was like, damn, just gonna be an asshole like that.
Where was this at?
There's no such thing.
Verve.
on Verve.
Verve? Oh,
Probably
Yeah.
Carl.
that's
No
probably
such thing. No such thing.
that's why I don't. That's why I don't.
Uh,
worry
I should have.
about comments on
I
Verve.
should have.
Right,
I
that's
should start
why-
watching it early just
Carl
to post.
doesn't have the energy though
I
to
really
to
don't.
go on and comment.
I really don't, but
Wait.
I should. I wish I
It's
did.
not a principle.
I
It's like
wish I had it.
it's just too much energy expended to enforce
fucking
that
with that.
ideology that he has.
But Demon Slayer though, man. Last
No.
episode.
It keeps breaking people's hearts. They just want to keep. They broke your heart, unbroke your heart, and they broke it again.
Bruh.
I was just.
Oh my.
I was like, damn, this man's stuck. He. I was like, God damn. Oh,
Yeah.
stuttering.
They're
God.
just like,
Knife
hey,
through his
hey.
throat.
They're like, your feelings. I'm sorry, and then they wrap some tape around it, and then they snapped it again. The next ending. It was like,
They're like, hey,
Pretty
it's
much.
okay, buddy. It's okay. They
was
they
not
did
okay.
it. They did it. They did it. Oh no, they didn't.
Rip.
yeah,
I knew they were gonna do that once that mofo just did not
disintegrate.
disintegrate. Yeah.
Nah. I
Yeah,
finished.
them demons be cheated.
You said they what?
They just cheat. I hate how much they cheat. Like, they be like, this is how you kill them. But also, this is how you kill them. But also, even if you kill them, they can also do this after you kill them.
Yeah. I mean, they gotta keep it.
Depressing?
Interesting.
Yeah, they're
Alright.
doing a good job.
But they're like, oh, this ain't no regular demon. This is number 6. These
Right.
niggas on a whole nother level.
Yeah. Then otherwise you end up with like some yummy shit like
Yummy.
like going
What
past
does
your
that
limits
say,
every
Isaiah?
episode and this, they want to do something different. They would rather break your spirit. So that's what we got. I finished that last World Trigger. It was a great fucking battle. I think we all kind of expected the same shit after like, some key people got injured. And they definitely not shy at all about just handing Osamu his ass. Like, yeah, that's whatever. So I was like, well,
yeah, he does not suffer from main character syndrome
No.
whatsoever.
No,
No.
it's the exact opposite.
They don't give this man none of his props.
He couldn't be
none
more.
of
He
his-
couldn't be more oatmeal than
Exactly.
Osamu. Osamu is the most oatmeal main character, and I don't even consider him the main character. I just consider him a part of the cat. Like he's the only main character who like it doesn't feel like he has any screen time. Like, have we seen Osamu this episode? Like, he wasn't the main character. He's just the first person you were introduced to, and we thought he was the main character. That's all it was.
That's it. And then, like, in the battle, it's like, dog, what are you? You supposed to be taking care of business, and Hughes had to make the call. Come on, dog. What are you bugging? Y'all out here about to lose everything you've been fighting for. Come on. That was frustrating. But you know, Hughes had it under control. I'm caught up on Abbott.
Why?
Abbott is hilarious.
Abbott is, yeah. That one part where when she was in the principal's office with the new teacher or the consultant. I don't know what she was. She was like an art teacher or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she was like, she started calling the principal, was like, hey, such and such, such and such. And she just like started ignoring her. She's like, she don't hear me. And then the other girl called her and she said, that shit, that shit, I was dying. I was dying.
So disrespectful. And then like the shit that got me was where like Greg was like, yeah, I hate I can't garden at all. And then, to the camera was like, yeah, I hate fucking lawn, garden, all that shit. Fuck. Yeah. But like couldn't fucking help himself when he was like, when they was like messing it up. I was like, wow. It's like you can't avoid becoming your parents in like some ways.
Absolutely. Or at least the stuff that they taught you. You can't unlearn.
I mean, you can, but it's just like I don't know, stuff you never thought you would think. It's like, oh, wait a minute, what? Where did that come from? Was that me?
That Chinese proverb, like the road you take to avoid your fate is the road you find it on.
Bruh.
So it's like you go out of your way to not be your parents, and then you're like,
yes,
I'm still here.
How did I get here? Terrible.
That's right there. AJ, I'm gonna need you to put that on a shirt.
I'm sure it's on 1,000 shirts. It's a very common Chinese.
1,000 American shirts.
But if it's on your shirt, you could make a bunch of money.
Exactly.
Okay. Sure. Blerdimension will come out with one. There we can get the revenue stream started.
Perfect. Played a little bit of Halo. Didn't get the fucking the samurai armor or the weapon skin because
Halo loves to play with you.
It does. And I played a little Rocket League and watched a little bit of maths, but I haven't finished this week's episode. I don't know what's about to happen with these people.
I'm missing that shit, man. They need to hurry up and drop.
Hey, you can probably watch it on other websites.
Yeah, I'm too lazy.
Websites? Do you need an eye patch for these websites, Swall?
I don't know why you would.
I'm just asking questions about. I don't know the requirements for every website out there.
Yeah. No, I understand. I don't think anyone, who visits these websites would wear an eye patch. I'm just saying. We should probably talk about what's good with everybody else. That's where we should go. So what's good with y'all niggas? Who wanna talk about they shit?
I'm gonna go last. I got a long list.
You always got a long list.
I
need you to shorten that list. This deal. 1222.
Just
about to turn into Cinderella out here.
Give it a pumpkin.
He said shorten that list.
Oh my god.
Just Book of Boba Fett and Star Trek Discovery for me. This I mean, I probably watched other stuff. But
I really need to watch Star Trek Discovery.
I finally got out of the hold it had on me. Like in season 4, I finally broke free. But I literally watched it like sun up to sundown for 3 seasons, and so now I'm in the current season, which isn't finished yet, or at least not to my knowledge. And
so you get a break.
Yeah, and I just kind of I haven't caught up. That's the thing. I finally broke out because it was like heading like down a very depressing path at some point. So I was like, I can, and that's usually when I break out of a show when it's like when I reach my depression quota. I'm like, okay, that's enough.
Had enough of that.
Yeah, there's real life happening, and then there's depressing TV shows, and once they like the intersection happens, I'm like, okay, woo, shock my system enough to not watch it. So I haven't watched an episode in like 2 days. I feel accomplished. I did watch Book of Boba Fett, which the season finale was yesterday, and there was just all kinds of craziness. Watching the Mandalorian and Boba Fett fight a ton of people in the streets was dope.
What?
It was just jetpacking around and shooting people and spinning and shooting people and just all the things you expected a bounty hunter to do. There was a Rancor in there at some point messing up stuff and throwing robots around. I mean, it was pretty much just like a giant like space cowboy battle. Like there was just, it was the cowboy motif to a T, where you have like the heroes hemmed in like the Alamo, and then you throw in some giant, droids with energy shields and a Rancor and and a little Yoda guy, and you just got like the best of Star Wars there.
Remind me of you remember in the Star Wars games where you used to have to not Star Wars, in God of War, where you could like ride the trolls?
Oh yeah, right.
That's what it reminded me of.
Yeah, the Boba Fett has a pet Rancor, and you finally got to ride it in the last episode, which was cool. But it was it was great. And then Cad Bane, or I think that's his name, Cad Bane, the Duro bounty hunter. It's just a very popular character in the Clone Wars because he's a bounty hunter that somehow survives multiple altercations with Jedis. And he's just that good. He's basically what everybody imagined Boba Fett would be. He's the actual baddest bounty hunter in the world. Yeah, there was some interlap with or some intersections between him and Boba Fett in the Clone Wars when Boba was still a child.
Yeah.
But
him and his dad used to work together a lot, and he learned from his dad, but also learned from him as well.
Yeah, so he's basically like what if Boba Fett, this version of Boba Fett had gone wrong, he would be Cad Bane, basically, who's just the perfect, like, for this environment, like he's the perfect character because he looks like a cowboy, and Tatooine is just a giant western. That's what the whole planet is, a western. Like so he walks in here, slow motion, like draw scenes, like where it's like a standoff or whatever with Boba Fett. So pretty much that was it. Just enjoying the my two favorite space opera / shows. You got your Star Trek, which is more science fiction-y, and then you got your Star Wars, which is just fake it the funk. They're not really science fiction. They're more high fantasy, but they pretend to be science fiction. So,
yeah. All right.
Funny how you say fake it the funk.
Right. What about Tech? You want to go? What's good with you?
What's good with me? I started rewatching Chuck, because all of that came available on HBO Max.
Rewatching what?
Chuck.
Love Chuck.
Chuck.
You
I don't know what the
NBC
fuck
show, the NBC show where the dude became a supercomputer in his brain.
Yeah, talking about computer and brain. Chuck was like the guy who founded that idea.
It's a spy show. Zachary Levi plays basically somebody who works for it would be Geek Squad, but it's called the Nerd Herd. Yeah. He's a Geek Squad guy who ends up becoming a super spy because he gets this computer implanted into his brain, and the government can't retract it, so they just start using him as an asset. And it goes on, and it's basically just a bunch of 80s references for 5 seasons.
It's fantastic. Besides that, I watched the Reacher series on Amazon Prime, which was really good.
Does that have to do with
Jack Reacher?
Jack Reacher?
Yeah,
Jack Reacher. Yep, it's good. I mean, I would say it's all in all, it's good. Action's good. The mystery is good. The twists are good. It does what an action TV show is supposed to do. It doesn't take itself too seriously. I will say it is quite gruesome and some places.
Those books just get recycled, don't they? They make a Reacher or a Jack Ryan.
Amazon bought the rights to those.
Like they this is not the first time somebody's turned those into some kind of thing, because both Jack Ryan and Tom Cruise did Jack Reacher, and Chris Pine did Jack Ryan years ago. They were terrible movies, but
like,
did they turn that into a show too?
Yeah, Jack Ryan, which actually was
good.
pretty
Season
good.
1 was good. Season 2 was iffy. Season 1 was good.
Season 1 was really good.
Isn't
And
there
then
another one?
season 1 of Reacher has been fantastic. I enjoyed it. I highly enjoyed it. Outside of that, really no anime besides Tokyo 24th Ward, which has been really good. That has been my I take that back. That was my surprise favorite of this season, without a doubt. And then my little one turned 2 this past weekend, so been doing the daddy duty, pretty
Congrats.
heavy.
Oh yeah,
She's
how was the
sleeping,
party?
and it was fantastic. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. We broke it
Did
up
you
with
pass out?
No, I didn't pass out. I chugged through. Tons of caffeine. I did take a nap midway though, so I guess I did pass out.
Shoot, you bad from
So that
caffeine
gets-
right now.
Right?
Fuck, it's hard.
He's
He said
he's
fun.
on a
Maurice-
reduced his intake. It did reduced what you call it, like consumption level. Like black tea still has caffeine in it. It's just
There you
like
go.
1/10 a cup of coffee, but
Zendaya from damn Euphoria soon.
Lord.
Oh damn.
This man.
Maurice said
yeah,
Batman tickets are for pre-sale. Real quick.
but yeah,
I'll
they've
wait
been
till
up
the movie
on
comes out.
you can watch it early on Fandango, March 1st.
Cool.
yeah,
what else, Tag?
That's it.
Oh, that's it.
That's about it. Yeah.
What up, Apex? How's the new Apex?
It's
Oh
alright.
yeah, I've
It's
heard
alright.
good things.
It's fantastic.
Really?
Like I said, Control has its issues. People leave halfway. The game's kind of ruined. New character, I'm not feeling fully. Definitely not in my skill range. So I would say that's number one reason why I'm not feeling her. Besides that, yeah, that's it. I would say it's a decent update. It keeps me engaged with the platform. But it's not like their best update in my opinion. Control, I like where they're going. They realize like Battle Royale's not going to be it. They got to add other stuff, and they're doing that. And so, yeah. I just need them to be able to add custom servers. That's the ability to set up a quick custom game would be fantastic for Apex and the community as a whole. Because right now you can't, and it's just you're giving us these game modes that kind of cater to custom servers, but we can't do anything with them because you can't do anything. So
Nope.
But yeah, that's it. Ready to destroy you on Rocket League. That's about it.
Wow. This man. Swab, see what you did to this man's head? You didn't do it.
Blow it up like
Sliced
the
him
moon.
up.
It's already
Swab's like
big
that.
I don't
enough.
know what y'all talking about.
Swab's like that semi-professional that they group for the church league.
Exactly. Make the whole church squad feel good about themselves.
Oh my
Or they all
League.
bragging, but it's like this joker's 6'9" and windmill dunking on the pastor, and you want to sit here and act like you guys are doing something.
Wow.
mean,
What?
Win's a win.
There you go. What's good with you, Carl, this week?
Not a whole lot. So I caught up with Demon Slayer and World Trigger.
That's fun.
And that's I watched some movie. Clearly not memorable.
Good movie.
Yeah, it was okay because I knew what I was getting into, but I just remember it was okay. I don't.
Was it with
remember
the
the
wife?
name who was in it.
You don't remember the movie though.
Oh,
Right.
yeah, it was. Oh, the 355. I watched that.
Oh.
355. That sounds familiar. What is that about?
Lupita Nyong'o's in there, and then other people.
It's the female James Bond group.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, I saw that. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so watch that, and didn't get to even watch basketball that much. I saw a couple highlights, but that's it. Lakers continue to embarrass themselves. They lost to who? The other night? Portland.
Without Damon Lillard, without
CJ
CJ.
No CJ. they lost. I was like, yeah, they're doing bad. They might, but they're gonna pull out Portland for sure.
Nope.
No, LeBron's interview was hilarious when they got beat by Milwaukee. Like LeBron's like, he's like, do you think you can play at their level? No. Do you think you'll ever get to their level this year? No.
No.
That's what you wanted to hear.
Is that
right?
what you're here, right?
Yeah. Basically,
Yeah.
He's like, all I want to do is go home and lay in the bed and get a glass of wine. LeBron is talking about having a glass of wine and take it and going to bed. You're like, dang, it's hard out there.
It's
Terrible.
real hard. They're Garbaggio. They're super
They're really
trash.
bad.
Like you shouldn't be losing to Portland. Not after you got waxed the night before. You should come out with a bunch of energy, and that's not what happened. But yeah, I was hoping that Dr. Stone was out, and it wasn't. So I kind of I watched that little prologue thing, and that really was like the last 2 episodes of this last season condensed. I was watching that assassin anime a few weeks ago, but there wasn't a new one that came out.
What,
So
86? Or
the reincarnation of the greatest assassin, something like that.
That thing's finished, I thought.
I mean, it didn't end on a note that I wanted it to, so it's not allowed to finish.
Oh,
I mean, I'm
they're
like,
probably
I'm
coming
looking
back.
for the next episode.
I feel you on
You're
that.
probably
Though.
correct.
They killed me with that. I was like, Nick, bruh.
But it looks like they finally introduced the hero.
Just started coming back. So if they do get another season, it probably won't be for like another
So we're talking about
year
if
or
we
two.
get
If we get another season. Because
nobody wants to hear that.
This is my issue with my anime. Like they go out here, they make something, they got me all hooked in, and then like, yeah, we're not doing it anymore. Or don't worry, we got you. In a decade's time, we'll refresh it.
Anime is a trailer for the manga.
Yeah, these anime is a trailer for the manga.
It really is.
Yeah, no, that's very true. Because that's inevitably what happens, right? Most people jump right from they're like, I gotta know like what's happening, and
that's what I do.
End up reading the manga,
especially for this isekai anime, because I only do like a 12 season, one run 12 season animation, and it's always like the laziest animation. Like that anime could have been so much better, but they gave it like the lowest budget to get the job done. But
which one?
The manga readings, The Greatest Assassin, like it could have been so much better, action wise, things like that. They really could have taken their time with the animation.
It could have, but at least that last scene was good. That last scene was pretty good.
They'll normally do like the last little bit. They'll do a good animation run for it. But yeah, it's just they do it every year, right? Input your same isekai, manga here, and give it an anime adaptation, and then they just do it in a lazy fucking fashion.
Yeah,
animators are expensive.
I get they're expensive. I get that.
Very expensive. It's a
yeah.
very, very niche skill set to begin with. Like even people who draw well aren't good enough to animate. Like that's another skill on top of being someone who can draw. So it's like there's very few people on the planet who can do it, let alone in your specific country. So, and it takes years to perfect it. So it's just a hard thing to basically make efficient. That's why they're trying to get computers involved, so they can finally just release animations whenever they want. Yeah.
These details should matter, but alas, they don't. I need them to produce what I want.
I'm sorry, Carl. It doesn't work that way, mate.
Unfortunately.
Anyway, but yeah, so I haven't watched much. I don't. It's highly unlikely I'll be watching the Super Bowl. So there's not like stuff I'm even like looking forward to.
Shield
I probably
Hero.
just
They dropped
Oh,
another
yeah.
promo trailer.
oh promo trailer. Where the episodes at though, AJ?
April, man, I told you it's coming out in April.
Don't show me no promo when I gotta wait 2 months. Are you kidding me?
Hey, that's better than movies. Movies start their run a year out, and then 6 months they drop a teaser 1 year out. 6 months later they drop their first trailer.
And
3
guess who
months
doesn't
after
watch
that they
none of it?
drop their final trailer, and
And
then
I
they
don't
drop.
watch it. They should be disgusted with themselves.
You watching Raised by Wolves?
You know what? I didn't watch I didn't finish the last season, so I got to do that first. I feel like I might have to because like I
Yeah.
know there's a bunch of content out there, but like I've been spoiled. I don't want to just watch something that I think is okay. I want to watch unless it's movies. The movies is the only thing I'm like, okay, this is gonna be okay at best.
Yeah.
But if it's shows, that thing needs to be baller. Like I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
invest that kind of energy on a show, and it's just like, eh. And that's why I left Raised by Wolves. I feel like I left it right before
It
like
got
that
good.
crescendo was gonna get good. So yeah, I
Same.
might go back into it. I want Foundation to come back. That's what I want. I don't know when that's coming, if that's coming, but yeah, that's it for me.
All right. Chris, did you go already? Or I'm bugging.
Nah, I can go. I haven't really watched that much this week. I've been playing a lot. I got a good gaming session in on Saturday, so played a few different games. One of them is finishing off Resident Evil Revelations. So I think I'm in the final stretch of that game. It's really good. It's been fun. So as soon as I'm done with that one, I'm going straight to Revelations 2. So I'm really looking forward to that. Also been playing No More Heroes. I was playing that one boss that was, oh my god, it was like 3 times where I literally had this much health left
Yeah, sliced
and
up.
got fucked up just out of nowhere. She raging demon my ass.
Yeah, pretty much.
She
She
like
pretty
pulled out a
like
raging demon on me and like it took half of my health and then I got sliced again and yeah. So it was an ordeal, but
you got destroyed. Like you had a little bit of health left, and she just sliced you up like 50 times. I was like,
yeah.
God damn, that's overkill.
And then kicked me like across the room.
Yeah,
So yeah, it was bad, but I ended up killing her, which was good. She deserved. Well, I didn't actually. She didn't actually didn't kill her. So she's probably gonna come back in No More Heroes 2 or 3, as she gets older. So, but she doesn't have an arm, so she's
she got one arm.
yeah. She deserved it. So and then I played another game called Blue Fire. It's kind of like a 3D. It's kind of like Zelda, but it's more platforming. So it's kind of like a platforming dungeon crawler game. It's pretty fun. I like. It was on sale on the eShop, so I picked it up for like $5 or something.
It's a
So
good deal.
just yeah. So it's pretty good so far. So see how far I'll get into that. Played a lot of fighting games on Sunday evening. Went through Blaze Blue, Central Fiction, and Blaze Blue Cross Tag, Guilty Gear Strive, and Street Fighter 5. So been playing all of those. And then played Serious Sam 4 with JK on Sunday. Did our Serious Sam
Yes.
Sundays. That shit is getting more and more ridiculous, but it's a good time. And then a little bit of Halo here and there. I have been playing a bit more of MCC lately, so that's been a good time.
Sorry to hear that.
Wow, y'all need to stop hating, man. Yeah, I
No,
need to stop
you need to
hating.
stop playing MCC.
Why? What? Give
That's
me a
the one.
reason why to stop.
Just
Give me
hang
a
it on,
reason.
man. You're like one of those guys who's like reliving his glory days. Like he used to play football and was like the captain of the team, and he's out there just throwing spirals like Napoleon Dynamite's brother or whatever, just uncle or whoever that guy was, just throwing spirals out. That's what MCC is for Halo people. It's like my old stomping grounds. I got to go back.
Why can't it just be fun?
Facts.
I'm sure that's
Just
still
just hop
fun to
in
those
and be
people.
fun.
I don't know. I just hate. I hate the bad graphics and the it just looks worse. And I think for me that affects how I feel about it. I'm not good enough to enjoy it for just the game, right? So you gotta get me with the bells and
You
whistles.
gotta give me something.
Yeah, like if I was good at it, I probably would feel great about MCC. I probably would go back in there and be like, yeah, it still feels like riding a bike. But no, I'm not good enough. So I need it to look nice. If they just updated the just like Madden, if they just were to upgrade like the graphics and they can keep the gameplay the same, whatever, but that would be Infinite, right? So why don't they just bring the MCC stuff over to Infinite and then call it a
Exactly.
day instead of
If
just
only. But I mean, you just gotta. I don't know. You have to put yourself in a certain. You just have to disregard that. Disregard. And put it in context of like, all right, this is an old game, but this it's simple. All you gotta do it's not a lot of thinking. You just gotta point and shoot. That's why I really like it because
That's the part I'm
it's
bad
very
at.
relaxing.
yeah, for me especially. Like I can point and shoot. It's the hitting the thing that you're it's like actually pointing at the right thing and hitting the right thing is my issue. Like
Like
or doing them so that they work. And like sometimes I can point at the thing, but then I don't shoot at the thing, or sometimes I shoot at the thing, but I'm not really pointing at the thing. Like the syncing up of the point and shoot is the problem for me. It's like whatever that math is in between, you guys are doing, I'm not doing.
yeah, nah, it is a very relaxing experience. I love it. Um, I'll never stop playing.
That
But
that we're sure.
I'm also gonna be playing a lot of Infinite too, so I can play both.
Hey man, nobody hates that you're a huge Halo fan. We just hate MCC in general. No. That's all it is. It's not none of this is aimed at you. We just hate MCC.
Exactly.
I don't
Exactly.
get the hate for MCC. I don't. You have literally all of the Halo games in one package. All of the great Halo games in history. It's just like the Street
Except for the
Fighter.
new one.
It's just like the Street Fighter collection. You literally have all the Street Fighters in one collection. You can play all of them. Like that's great. The fact that that exists is fun. You can fire it up and have a good time still.
I feel like Street Fighter is a little different though. Don't you get to like play with some characters who aren't in the newer games and some what I'm saying that like there's mechanic differences. But in Halo,
I
it's
mean,
just like
there's mechanic. I mean, there's some weapons that are in Halo Infinite. There's some.
I guess that's true.
I
If you
mean,
really gotta play with the freaking SMGs, if you really just gotta shoot those,
I mean, nobody uses SMGs.
that's
Let's get
true.
that
That's
clear.
why they're not an infinite. Uh, but I don't know. I would love to love Halo that much, and I loved every one of those Halo games at one point in time, but I've moved on since they wanted to disrespect 5, which I still love but never play. Right?
Bruh.
It's just Infinite now.
Well, 5 coming to PC and MCC soon.
I doubt it.
Hopefully.
They are
nigga-
absolutely going to retcon 5. They're going to try to retcon it from history. Like they're gonna be like they're gonna come out with Halo 5 after Infinite, so that you're like, wait, wasn't there already a 5? I'm like, no, this is 5.
That was a rumor, a myth.
5 is the number after Infinity. Everybody knows that.
Maurice said, "What if they delete the service for MCC?"
Oh, that's not gonna happen.
No, those are the people that got Infinite made. That's where they get their information about what Halo fans want. They
Somebody accidentally deleted, like, oops.
Bruh.
No, they got that thing guarded. It's probably got It's probably got like an armed guard around that thing. I'm telling you,
They're still making money on that game.
Those people built Halo, built Infinite. those are the people who were the most like adamant about how terrible and how trash 5 was. The people who stayed on MCC are the reason that 5 sucked because they never migrated over and gave it that engagement. They saw that MCC had more engagement than 5 and they just kind of gave up on it.
Yeah. Well, that's as far as games and shows. I just watched the latest episode of Pam and Tommy. If y'all haven't watched that, that's really good. About the
What was I did?
Pamela
Pamela
Anderson
Anderson.
and Tommy
Tommy
Lee.
Lee.
For some
How
reason, I immediately went to Martin when you said Pam and
yeah,
Tommy.
yeah.
I was like, they got their own spin-off.
That nigga dead. How they even?
I was like, they obviously recast it, so I
Yeah.
didn't want to go there. Well, but I figured that in my head. I had done that math in my head. But
yeah, it's a really good show. It really does show the impact. I honestly, I never knew that it was the sex tape wasn't supposed to be leaked. I thought it was just, I thought it was like some Kim K or Paris Hilton type shit. But nah, this was somebody that was like
Revenge.
But aren't they
revenge.
always supposed to be leaked? So isn't that the point of a sex tape?
Not this one.
Nah, this
Not
is
this
first.
one.
This is
No,
first.
but I'm saying, like, even if it's the first sex tape, right? You're making a sex tape, right? You really think you're gonna go back and watch that thing again? That's
Yes.
that's like your children's graduation. You don't watch that again. You do tape it,
They
but you
put that
don't watch
shit.
it.
He put that shit in a safe, and the dude stole the whole safe. Not knowing that the
The
sex tape was
whole
in there.
safe?
Stole the
Nigga.
whole safe. Yep.
That's how
Yeah,
you know
it's
you're not
a
gonna
good.
watch it again. You put it in a save. That means
Yeah.
it's nowhere near a VCR. So you just took it, you made
gotta
it,
keep it
and then you
safe.
put it. It's a time capsule. You put it in a time capsule. You're gonna watch it in 10 years or something. Like I don't. You make a sex tape. You want somebody to find it. You do.
Yeah,
You
I
want
don't.
someone to
I
find
don't
it.
think so.
I don't think
I don't
so.
think so.
Yeah, you want them to find it. You made a sex tape.
Hey, Jerry, are we learning something new about you right now? Like,
I know, right?
I'm
Did
not
you leak
making
it?
sex tapes out here, so
It's like,
I'm
nah.
not. It's like if you make one, you want somebody to find it. Like that's probably part of the fun of making a sex tape. Be like, ooh, somebody might find this. It's like
That is true.
it's like the
That's true.
voyeurism thing, right? You're having
Yeah.
sex in public because you like somebody might catch us. You don't necessarily want to get caught, but that's the excitement. It's like,
Yeah.
can we do this without getting caught? That's the sex
Yep.
tape. I'm telling you, it was like voyeurism before. Like it's like a step into voyeurism. It's like I don't
It's a form of
necessarily
it.
know if we want people watching us, but we also kind of don't know. So let's just record it and maybe
if maybe they would watch it, then maybe we'll like
Yeah,
that.
maybe somebody watch this. We get big money for it. Yeah, let's
Look,
do it.
it's just like the old security adage, right? You don't want somebody to have access to something, don't give access to anybody. Like, not even yourself. If you want something to be inaccessible, there's no points of entry. You made a sex tape, therefore now somebody will see it.
I don't.
Well,
I feel like
a
maybe
lot
we
of
should
people
move
did
on.
see it.
People did see it. That's very true.
Didn't you watch All of Us Are Dead too?
Yeah, watched All of Us Are Dead, Terrifying Nicole. I don't understand. Like I don't get what's scary about zombies. I really don't.
They're not scared. They're just gross.
Yeah, it's more gross than anything, but I don't know. But yeah, she just cannot watch it. And yeah, a lot of the teenagers on there are getting fucked up, and it's a lot of the times it's their fault.
Someone in particular, I was so like, yeah, I was happy she got fucked up because she was being a bitch.
How is this towards the end or?
What episode are you on? You on
I think I'm on 4.
You're on 4. Okay, so I think you experienced her bitchiness already, but
Is it the individual that wiped the blood into the wound?
yes.
Oh yeah, yeah. They should have hung her themselves. Like she shouldn't have.
She should have been
After
able
they figured that out.
to leave.
Yeah, exactly. After they figured that out, they should have threw her ass out the window.
She's out there actively
and
turning
hung
people
her.
into zombies.
So this one part of the show, they're hiding in the recording station in their school, and this uppity rich girl, she accuses this one dude which he keeps calling a wealthy,
yeah.
like a welfare kid, but really he's just his grandma. He lives with his grandma, and he works, to help out and stuff like that. And so he fights off these zombies that are hanging out the window, and she says that he got bit. And he didn't get bit. He got a cut from the computer that he smashed on the zombie's face. And and then she's like, "Oh, he got bit. He got bit." He's like, "No, that's just from a cut." Blah blah blah. He's like, "No," and everybody's like, "Okay, well, if he got bit, he go quarantine himself in the recording booth." So he goes to quarantine himself. He's like, "Fuck it." 30 minutes later, he didn't turn. Usually, because when people turn, it's like literally seconds.
Damn.
And well, maybe like a minute or two.
Maybe like a couple minutes.
Couple minutes, yeah. But you can tell because it's a big ass infection.
Yeah.
So he's there chilling, they tell her to go apologize. She's like, "I'm not apologizing to him. Why do I need to apologize?" And so they're like, "Go apologize, because he's not infected, whatever." So she goes and apologize, but she doesn't. She's like, "You're a welfare kid. I don't have to apologize to you. You're a piece of shit. Blah, blah, this, and that. I hope you die, but this, and that, this, that, and the third."
Dang.
Jesus.
She's doing this while she's like rubbing his wound, like thinking she's cleaning it. So,
but she's infecting his wound.
Yes,
Oh.
because the broomstick they used to kill one of the zombies had blood left over on it, and she saw it in the corner, and so she got a napkin, wiped the napkin with the blood, went into the recording booth, and started rubbing the wound with the blood. So later when he comes out, he starts showing signs that he's infected. And she's like,
What
"See, I
the
told
fuck?
you, blah blah blah." And one of the president, the girl who's
her.
quiet, saw all the shit,
Yeah.
and she was,
that
and
is
she was like,
insane.
"Yeah." So she's like, "Well, if it's not infected blood, then wipe on your own wound right there." And everybody was looking at her like she was a piece of shit. I was like, "Yo, I would have thrown her ass out the window."
Yeah, nah,
That's
I would have hung her ass.
You gotta
little,
splat her.
that-
She gotta get her head
Life together.
splattered. You
What
gotta
the
shoot her a
fuck?
little bit.
what I would think is like during a zombie apocalypse, like even my worst enemy is now my best friend, right? Like it's us against them.
I don't know about that.
I'm pushing my worst enemy into the zombie.
Yeah, y'all can keep that motherfucker.
I don't have a lot of worst enemies, I guess. Like other than like Maurice, maybe I would push Maurice into the zombies. But like, other than Maurice, I ain't got no enemies. So I just don't understand why.
Oh, wait, time out. You don't want to push that
together.
nigga into the you gonna have to shoot him because that nigga run marathons. He'll probably catch you.
Yeah, no bullshit. No bullshit.
You just tried to shoot him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
he's gonna be too.
The first zombie. I'm the one who made the World War Z zombies.
Yes.
Pretty much.
Absolutely.
See, I wouldn't push Tech in because he has kids and a family. But if he didn't have kids and a family, definitely I'm throwing his ass to be some food for me.
I'm throwing your ass in there too, best believe.
Yeah, well.
Okay, so it's obvious that most of y'all can't get petty differences to survive the zombie apocalypse. We're all doomed. This is really how people would behave. I thought that like, oh, the zombies are here. We're all friends. I don't care if I don't like you. I don't care if you're a white racist, and me being a black non-racist. Like,
hold on, wait, that's different. White racists would rather see you dead, my guy. Like I
think that when life's online, because my grandfather was in the military in the 60s. He was around a ton of white racists. Like, he's not dead. Oh, he's dead now. But he wasn't dead then. He
was not murdered by these people.
He died at a ripe old age. He wasn't murdered by racists because in the military, even your enemy, right, is your friend when there's a worse enemy out there. Right? There's an actual enemy that was actively trying to kill you. You wait until you're at peace times to hate the people around you. That's what I thought was like normal for
you know.
All right, so maybe I can put
niggas had orders.
my grudge aside.
But all in all, in this show, Cressy, you haven't got to the part where let's just say Karma's a bitch. I'm just gonna say that.
Okay.
Just gonna say that.
I'm gonna finish it one day without Nicole in the room.
That was Beast's
We'll
turn.
watch it again
Who
with
else
you.
has to go?
I'll watch it again.
No,
I'll
that was
start off
Preston.
before.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
But yeah, that's it for me.
All right, bet. Well, JK, you know, save the best for last. What's good with you this week?
Let's see. So watch Peacemaker today. This again is on the season finale. And let's just say Amanda Waller's daughter is kind of fucked up. But not fucked up like as in crazy or anything, but like she fucked up the mission type deals. They showed this episode the White Dragon and his suit, which is Peacemaker's dad. And you see why Peacemaker is kind of traumatized a little bit.
Because his dad is a racist.
It's a little bit of that, and it's a little bit of what happened when he was a child too. So, but it's a good show from James Gunn. I would say that.
Is he trying to make Peacemaker like DC's Deadpool?
He's nothing like Deadpool, but he's.
I mean, like, not their personalities, their roles.
The roles
in the universe.
You could kind of say that
because, like, isn't Peacemaker kind of like comedic all the time, but also serious, but also comedic,
and also crazy?
Yeah, like
kind of. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, like it's because that's what Deadpool is his role in. I mean, there's a lot of serious elements in his world, but he also has to deal with making fun of the things that should be made fun of that we kind of take for granted in superhero shows, right? He's always pointing out the absurdities, but at the same time, there's real stuff happening in a Deadpool movie, which is why it works.
I would say it was more of the character, like Vigilante is fucking hilarious. Like he's a dumbass, but he's like a serial killer. So like Vigilante is like his sidekick. So before he went to jail, they used to like go around fighting crime and shit. But he would like cut niggas apart. Like hit one of the missions they had to do was kill a family and pretty much from a long distance snipe them. And Peacemaker couldn't do it because they were saying he had to kill the kids too. And he's like, man, I ain't killing no kids. Vigilante's like, man, watch out, man. He just took the sniper and just headshot.
Oh,
that's a little...
Jesus.
But the reason why they had to kill him because they had aliens inside their heads. So
what?
Yeah. So yeah. Sorry.
I mean, you got to provide that context before you be like,
early
kill
on.
these people and they kids.
You're just making me think this show's killing kids.
They didn't provide that context to JK. That's what
I'm talking about the show.
That's what I'm saying. The show, absolutely, they did that on purpose for the shock value. They're like, let's kill these kids. Oh wait, the kids were
kill these kids.
Right?
They have
aliens
in them. I was like, and he was like, well, no, say kill these kids, and they didn't tell them why. And then like after Vigilante killed them, they saw these big ass, there were these small little butterflies come crawl out their head. And he was like,
all right, we don't need to hear more about this show.
It's like that little girl in Blade. Remember, he was like, "You all right?" And then she proceeded to beat him down because she was a vampire, and she started
it's sort of like that.
She went kung fu on him, and then he just smacked her after that because he was like, "Oh, she's a vampire." And then
pretty much.
That's when the backhand came through.
Funny thing, I do follow her on Instagram. The black girl. So the black girl from Blade who fought Blade in the in the archives. Yeah, she has an Instagram page, and she actually still studied martial arts to this day.
That's dope. Because she obviously had skills, because that was back in the day before like CGI was good enough to put like a mesh on like a very small man's face and make him do all the. Because they still do that now. Like they'll put a mesh on like a very tiny person and tiny athlete and put them in the spot of the kid.
Yep. And so
what? Yeah.
I
They
had
do that
no
with women
idea.
too. Sometimes the
They try to do that for
woman's the women's stunt double is sometimes like a very skinny man. Depending on if they can't get a woman to do a woman stunt actress, they'll get a very slight built man
Yeah,
and just throw him in there real quick.
you just put a wig on.
Yeah, with cuts, you never know.
True.
Also been watching Naomi, Batwoman. Now it's actually getting really good.
Nice.
It's
Like
a different
good or
superhero movie.
actually good?
I mean, show, huh?
Like CW good or just actually good?
It's actually getting good. It's a different.
CW sucks.
Yeah, it's not possible. It's not possible for a CW show to be actually good. It can be CW good though.
Yeah, but it's different from the normal CW type trope shows. One because it's a black girl. It's a
They'll
black
make me
girl
have
going
hope.
through high school, and
That's basically just Degrassi with superpowers.
Oh my
Come on now.
wow.
Look at
Okay,
Superman.
you disrespecting it now.
Wow.
I mean, come on now, JK.
It's not Degrassi with superpowers. I'll tell
It's
you that.
Degrassi with superpowers.
See, this is why
Motherfucker.
you said what you said last week. You don't get to talk.
Yeah, it's true. You have very little
all know
credibility.
He did say
You got
it.
limited
I studied for
conversation.
Nah,
Focus
you have
right
you
now,
have very
sir.
little credibility with the people right now,
Yeah.
Tech. I mean, I want to agree with you very badly because you know how I feel about CW, but yeah, you're still on probation. You might want to chill out because the
No
stuff you
parole.
said.
No parole. But, what I did like about Naomi is this last episode they had to figure out a code. It was in binary. They didn't have the key for the cipher, so they had to use a Turing machine to figure out the code, and they had to go through a escape room to get to a Turing machine that was local. And I was like, "Oh, that's interesting." And one of the girls, her friend, told her was talking about the Turing machine. I was like, "Dog, I didn't learn this till I got to fucking college," and she just spouting the shit out like it was nothing.
Well, every superhero show has to have a smart best friend.
This is true.
Facts.
That they have no other use but to figure the stuff out that the main character just can't figure out. They got too much on their plate. And then they got the smart best friend who eventually starts building gadgets. Look for that in season 3.
Yep.
Well, she's not
She'll
the
help
person
with,
that builds gadgets. She's
suit
like the comedic friend.
No, I'm saying that's how she starts. Season 3, she will be building gadgets. I'm telling you.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. But anyway, because they already got a dude who does that. I don't know about that.
Well,
But,
she's going to apprentice under the dude that does that. Trust me, I know how these things work.
Isn't that what happened with Felicity? Wasn't Felicity she was super smart, came in, started building gadgets, and then what's his face came in to apprentice underneath her?
No,
he didn't build any gadgets. He built all the gadgets.
She did build some stuff, but she basically was like the person in the chair, like Ned from Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. No, she didn't build. I don't think she built anything. Now she did design the watchtower. She did do that with Cisco, but she didn't build anything per se.
Okay, yeah. Most of the stuff that gets fabricated is Cisco or Mr. Terrific.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So Naomi's good. Batwoman's getting into the whole Joker versus Batwoman phase. Let's see what else. Watch Orient. I watched Orient. I watched what Netflix show did I watch? There's a Netflix show. I was watching Ozark. Trying to catch up with that. Of course, Demon Slayer and all those great shows.
This game mode.
What's the other one? Raised by Wolves is getting very interesting. So I watched Peacemaker. Hulu didn't have any. Oh, watch Abbott Elementary. Let's see. Any others? Oh, 4400. That's getting good too. And 4400 is really is pretty much X-Men with time travel.
So X-Men.
Yeah, it's pretty much.
Days of Future Past is literally like one of the most famous X-Men storylines of all time. That's X-Men with time travel.
But it's normal humans who were taken from different parts of history and plopped in 2021 with and then they gain superpowers when they got plopped into history into 2021.
Okay, so 2021.
But some, as we discovered his last episode, one of the characters' brothers went into the future and saw what happened after people who got power. So basically, it turned into future past, kind of like with Sentinels and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it was interesting how they said the 4400 were like iguanas, or they were aliens that replaced people, and they have their own alt-right group, like the Proud Boys, in the show. So, you got to see one of the characters. It's a black girl who has the power to basically show pretty much make what's the word not holograms but not decoy, but make anyone see what she wants to see basically. And
illusions.
Illusions, that's it. Yes, thank you. So and so she goes to her dad and like having fun with him, talking, and then they discover on TV that all the 4400 have powers. So her dad was like listening to this like alt-right like radio show, and it was saying how the 4400 are not human, they're aliens, blah blah blah. So after he saw that, discovered that she has powers, he was like, "Oh, you're not my daughter. I knew it. You're an alien with her memories inside." Blah blah blah. And so like he pretty much almost tries to kill her. Like he pretty much turned into Uncle Ruckus. Pretty much, kind of, sort of speak. But
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's a pretty good show. So, also been playing Fallen Order. I just got Sifu. I gotta play Sifu. I know Mars is getting his ass whooped.
And 65 on the game already off the first level.
76. He said he was 76. I got
on the first level. He dies at 76.
Yeah.
That's the last year.
Or something like that. 76. So he said he got off the first level. He was middle aged. I was like, well, damn. It is what it is.
just know that Maurice is bad at video games.
Yeah. But he is a great person to be a subscriber as, so he's good at that.
Is he still a subscriber? Because if he's not still a subscriber, then that's also not true.
Damn.
But
you make a point.
They're playing the new Apex season. I actually like the season. Mad Maggie is actually very interesting to play. Control is actually pretty fun. Like Tech said, if the whole team is there, unfortunately people like to leave, which I don't understand.
People don't like to lose.
Yeah. And they're doing it in Halo too, and I just shit's so annoying. I'm playing Halo Infinite. I got one of the demon masks from the last event. Been playing also Anvil Vault Breakers. It's a game preview. It's on Game Pass. It's almost like a roguelike game where it's like Hades, but you have guns. Guns and different you have guns, you can have an axe. There's different characters you can use. So it's only a game preview, so hopefully when it does come out, it'll be a lot better. But it's actually pretty fun. I'm on the second level already.
Nice.
Yeah. Play a little bit of Rocket League. Yeah, shut up, Carl.
Trying to get your practice in. I got
Now all of us can go draft somebody from the from the D League and put them on our team.
Pretty
What are
much.
you talking about, man?
Um,
We all grinding out here, contributing.
Oh,
Listen, this game mode we're about to play, Swat, the NFL one, the football game mode, Swat, we gotta play this. This shit is gonna be just chaos.
Football doing is interesting for sure.
it's
Yep.
fun. I like it. Also, I saw that Netflix has a bunch of movies coming out each week. This whole year. So each week there's supposed to be a new movie coming out, which I find is gonna be so pretty much like every Friday almost. They got one joint called Adam Project, coming out in February or this month. No, is it this month or March? I can't remember.
March.
But it's pretty much like time travel, and futuristic stuff, futuristic tech and stuff like that. So it looks interesting. It's with Ryan Reynolds and the Mark Ruffalo,
Ruffalo.
Ruffalo, who
It's
played
like Buffalo with an R.
okay, Ruffalo,
Mhm.
Mark Ruffalo, looks interesting. So, and then of course Batman coming out soon, Morbius coming out in a couple of months.
That's not gonna be good.
Yeah, well, I'll wait to see.
It's Sony, man. They're not gonna do a good job. They first of
Damn.
all, no, like think about it. They picked Morpheus first of all, right?
Blade
And
and
they couldn't even do Venom right. So how are they gonna do Morpheus right? Like he's an even harder character to turn into a main character because you couldn't be more side character than Morpheus.
yeah, he was very side character, especially in the Spider-Man verse.
Yeah, like it's the reason why Marvel doesn't make any more Hulk movies. Because it's like he's better as like you throw him in a movie, he's fun. But if you try to make him the center of a movie, he's boring. So it's like the same thing with Morpheus in comics. Like he had some individual comics, but his real shining moments were in Spider-Man's comics.
Yeah.
So it's a weird. They just want so badly to have a cinematic universe. They're gonna do whatever they can they're gonna grab any Spider-Man character, any person that they have the rights to, and try to cobble together some kind of cinematic universe so that they can compete with Marvel. And it's not gonna work. They're just gonna keep.
We'll see what happens. Oh, I did watch the After Party. It's a Apple Plus show with Tiffany Haddish as a cop detective trying to figure out.
Ironic right now, huh?
I know, right? Trying to figure out who killed this famous singer, which is played by Dave Franco. So it's pretty funny. So if y'all want to watch that, you can. And I think that's yep. Super Bowl this weekend. Can't wait to make some nacho dip and just chill.
All right. That wraps up the podcast portion of the podcast. We're gonna thank y'all for joining us again. Definitely let us know if there's something you want our perspective on that you haven't seen us talk about. Follow us at Blerdimension everywhere if you haven't already. Here on Twitch, on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. If you fuck with the content, give us a heart, thumbs up, sub, whatever is platform appropriate. Some of those things are free for you, and give us a little boost with the algorithms. We stream the podcast live on Twitch Thursday nights, so make sure you come through next week. We're gonna take a quick break, do a little switch over, but stay tuned for after podcast gaming. We're about to get into some Halo and some Rocket League. Do some more orange versus blue.